DRG Media Group and River 92.7 are bringing you all home Oahe Zap games all season long. Tune in on the radio, listen on the app, or watch live on drgnews.com. Now, let's send it to the broadcast booth for some Oahe Zap baseball.
It's a beautiful day here at Hyde Stadium. A couple of clouds in the sky, but the playoff picture is getting clearer and clearer. I'm Dylan Beach, joined alongside me, Justin Cowart, and our producer, intern extraordinaire, Eli Lewis, as the first place Zap, yes, the first place Zap, hosts the Fremont Moo. Welcome on in for this Friday night ball game. A beautiful day. Last night's record crowd starting to form up again here at Hyde Stadium, and what will be another big game for the Zap for their playoff push, Justin.
And let's start there with the crowd. What a turnout these last two nights. Winning brings people to the ballpark, as does the wind down of the regular season. But we talk about winning a lot and how it's changed things here in Central South Dakota. I'm sure you're dying to give the folks that little tidbit, that historic tidbit of what last night's win did for the Oahe Zap. But it has been so much fun to watch this team. You know what's really interesting, Dylan? We're seeing a different team than we've seen in years past, but we're even seeing a different team than we saw in months past. Go back to June. This team is playing a wildly different brand of baseball than we're seeing here today. This is a team that has answered some punches, and we saw that last night. Fremont gets up early, 2-0. Zap, they don't feel bad for themselves. They don't stay down and out. They fight back in it. They tie it up at 2 apiece. Then they get 2 huge insurance runs on the back end. And each win is a crucial win. Each game is a must-win, and we've got another one presented in front of us here tonight.
It was a massive win last night, a pivotal third season in the history of the Oahe Zap after winning 15 games the first 2 seasons already, winning their 21st last night and securing a winning record, the latest they have ever had one in a season, Justin. The previous 1-0. So it is an all-around just a great night for the Oahe Zap last night. Another one where they have a chance to sweep and give themselves some more cushion for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're thinking it would be great to sweep, but at this point, with what's in front of you in terms of playoffs and postseason, they are likely looking at taking it just literally one game at a time. It is simply one pitch, one inning at a time, because they know that they have to get the win and then go scoreboard watch a little bit. Losses feel like it can bump you out of the postseason, but each one of those wins, it's like a little house. It's a little building block closer and closer to the postseason, and another great opportunity to do that again here tonight.
And we will hear all about the playoffs when we have the Path to the Playoffs presented by Dunes Golf. We'll get Eli on the headset. Dunes Golf. Country club quality at public course prices. Go have a day at the Dunes.
Usually we've got the card right in front of you, but as producer, I didn't turn that over. That's why Eli is our producer on the show. But that's right. We're going to have our path to the playoff with our producer and director extraordinaire. And like you said in your open, it is getting clearer and clearer as the days go on. It's pretty much the Zap know exactly what they have to do, and it's pretty simple for the Zap. You just have to keep winning. Everything else is kind of out of your control. But as we dive deeper into this ball game, we can talk a little bit about the massive series coming up in the next 2 days for the Oahe Zap. But I think it's really crucially important that Jamie Habiger, Devin Skelton, Andrew Wiggins, they get the guys together and they say, look, we know that this is a big series coming up this weekend, but that does not matter right now. Nothing is more important than the team across the diamond in the Fremont Moo. Yes, you've got 2 games against Spearfish on the road. That will likely decide how the playoff picture shakes out, but you can't look ahead. You cannot overlook this team in the Fremont Moo. You absolutely have to bring your best tonight and get another win.
And it's a great chance to get another win. The ace on the mound for the Zap, Jake Fuller, was just absolutely incredible the last time we saw him versus Casper. Let's go ahead and get the Fremont Moo lineups. Tanner Jacobson leading things off, playing center field. Henry Heyman playing second. Cooper Fucino playing first and batting third. Timon Long hitting cleanup, playing left field. Josh Hardiman out at third base, batting fifth. Nate Wachter behind the plate, playing catcher and batting sixth. Sevi Aguirre plays at shortstop once again, batting seventh. Carter Shellsmith gets a half day off at DH, batting eighth. And then rounding things out, number 9 hole, Caden Brzezinski. No, not Caden Bazanski. Caden Brzezinski for the Moo, playing right field. And I'll turn it over to my partner for the Zap lineup.
Leading things off, back in the leadoff spot. Great to see Gavin Frazier back up top. We saw Andrew Phillips in that spot a little bit. And while he did not disappoint, Gavin Frazier feels like he's most dominant when he is in there in the 1 hole. He'll be playing shortstop. a new look at second base. This guy can really do it all. Aiden Johnson playing second and batting second. Vince Palizzi will be batting third, DHing today. Ty Farwell will be in the cleanup spot over at the hot corner playing third. Connor Hammonds will be playing first base and batting fifth tonight. Mason Lang will be catching Jake Fuller here this evening, and he will be batting sixth. Alex Jackson will be flying around right field, batting seventh. Tyler Hoffman will be out in left, batting eighth, and it will be the always speedy Emiliano Curiel out in center and batting ninth. Pretty devastating lineup, if you ask me, Dylan.
Yeah, another good lineup for the Oahe Zap, really testing out some playoff lineups, and every game has had that playoff atmosphere. A good crowd shaping up here tonight as we'll get ready to send it down for the national anthem as Jeff Adele and Brooks Cartwright pass it off to Tyler Shockley for today's national anthem.
And before we do that, I just want to mention we've got before we get to the red, white, and blue, the Zap sporting their red, white, and blue today. Perfect setup for the national anthem.
We'll pass it off to Tyler Shockley as he gets ready to belt the red, white, and blue. Tyler, another good national anthem here at Hyde Stadium. We've been blessed to a lot of good ones here lately as we'll get a first pitch from Denny Unkenholtz of Countryside Support and Memory Center. It's their game night at the ballpark, a great cause, so get on down to the ballpark and learn more.
And it's always good to see the folks from Countryside. You know what I told you about doing the rubber duck race on Oahe Days weekend? That was for Countryside Support and Memory Center. So good to see them out getting another sponsored game night. And here comes our good friend Denny Unkenholtz as he fires in a strike. Good arm. Hey, you know what? The Zap, if they might need a relief pitcher, might call on Denny to come out of the bullpen.
He was kind of flirting with throwing it from the actual bump for a minute.
He looks like he was about to go dig in up there on the rubber.
He'll turn over to Jake Fuller, the first baton exchange of the day from Denny to Jake Fuller. The Zap ace on the mound, setting himself up to probably be good to go for the first game of the playoffs if the Zap do make it. But, I mean, every time Jake Fuller's on the mound, you feel pretty confident if you're a Zap player.
Absolutely, and Jake Fuller kind of got lost in the shuffle there between his last start with how good Cade Queen was for the Casper Spuds. Essentially went perfect for the first 7 innings of that ball game, but Fuller, while he wasn't perfect, he was equally as good. He really dealt there for the Zap. So hoping that he can get himself a good start today. The Fremont Moo are sending out their ace and Zach Vincent, so it should be another pitcher's duel. Kind of felt like we've had most pitcher's duels throughout this entire series, so should be another good one tonight. Excited to see Jake Fuller back out on the mound. And you and I were talking, you made a really good point. This could likely set him up for that first playoff start with the timing and how things could shake out in the series.
That could shape up really nicely for Jake Fuller as the Zap wearing their Independence Day jerseys, the camo, a pretty jersey combo that Jake Fuller picked out. The white pants, the navy hats, and the navy socks, and then the Moo wearing a special jersey here tonight. They're Spanish heritage jerseys, the Las Vacas jerseys. The Moo, it's got a great logo on it. The Moo has a sombrero and a mustache on them rather than just his normal look. And they are some nice jerseys that we'll get to see in full display here tonight. A black jersey, gray pants, and they're rocking a purple cap here tonight.
And our umpires, we see two more familiar faces. Austin Ritchie behind the plate, Dozark out on the base paths.
Fuller fires in and misses for ball one. And we're underway here on a beautiful Friday night at Hyde Stadium.
And another good crowd on hand, too. I'm sure we'll start to see some folks file in as this thing cools down a little bit.
As that one swung on a miss for strike one.
But you also have to be careful with that because you got two outstanding pitchers dueling out here tonight. This thing could go by pretty quickly if you're not careful.
A battle of the aces. The Zap's top starter, the Moo's top starter, should make for a very fun day of pitching as Fuller just misses for ball two.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit, but you never feel bad for a guy, but you'll feel a little bit unfortunate for Jake Fuller with how good.
The 2-1. This is low for ball three.
How good he started out in that against Casper in that last game that he was the starting pitcher, but it was a little bit overshadowed by the gem that Cade Queen hurled for the Spuds.
3-1. This is low, so a leadoff walk for Tanner Jacobson.
A little bit uncharacteristic there by Jake Fuller, and a long look in at Austin Ritchie, kind of saying, okay, so that's going to be your zone here this evening. We saw that from Scott Penny yesterday, a really tight zone that got tighter and tighter essentially as the game went on, really forcing the pitchers to work to hit the strike zone. So it looks like we might have some of the similarities today. That's something for these pitchers to think about.
That one misses off the plate for ball one. So 6 pitches, 5 balls here for Jake Fuller. See if he can rein it back in. Henry Heyman at the plate. Now he fires the 1-0. Fouled over the press box. Back towards the Capitol. As it has just been a great week of ball for the Oahe Zap. Splitting that series versus the Spuds. Up 2-0 in this series versus the Moo. And have had some record-setting crowds this week. 1-1 now from Fuller. Chopped softly to Ty Farwell. Turning to Aiden Johnson and now firing over to Connor Hammonds in time for the double play.
Well, as uncharacteristic as the first at-bat was for Jake Fuller, boy, did he snap out of that quickly. Gets a soft ground ball to Ty Farwell. Double play opportunity. The Zap infield turns it like they're turning it in practice, and a quick 2 outs for Fuller. That's a pretty good bounce back.
That is a great bounce back for Jake Fuller. After the Zap bounced back in last night's game, they found themselves trailing or tied for the first 6.5 innings, but then just never looked back. As 2 away, that one's lined sharply to right. Alex Jackson jumping and making the snag for the 3rd out of the inning. We'll keep it right here for our first inning Fiber Fact, presented by Venture Communications.
Thank you, Dylan. And do you love your current TV lineup with Venture Communications, but you want to stream? You won't miss a beat with UView Plus. Get all your live TV, all your favorite shows, and all the local sports you love now streaming your way with 100% fiber. It's the great same content experience. UView Plus today, only available with Venture Communications. If you'd like to call their business office, call them at 605-852-2224. Boy, was I glad I had fiber from Venture Communications with the storm that came through this morning. I was up early getting my morning started doing the sportscasts, and we had the Open Championship on. That storm rolled through town. I thought we were going to lose power there for a moment, but I didn't lose my internet because I have fiber from Venture Communications. So contact them today. They're doing great things and a great sponsor with us here at Hyde Stadium.
Yeah, I was definitely scared that I was going to wake up this morning and there was going to be a tree limb on top of my car. I park under a tree in my neighborhood, and I was getting a little worried until I got out there this morning, but alas, nothing hit me. It was an outstanding night in the ILB last night. The Zap taking first place. We'll hear all about those results as Josh Hardiman was just trying to field a warm-up ground ball, and it skipped up and hit him in the face.
Well, this is not the start you want for the Fremont Moo. They lost Bodie Jones, I believe, is his last name.
Joyner.
Correct? Joyner, thank you so much. Yeah, they lost Bodie Joyner last night because of a back injury that he, as you and I were told from their coaching staff, he slid into second, felt a little twinge picking up some of his gear as he slid, and then started to take infield at third, went down to field a ground ball, and hurt a back issue that has been nagging with him for a while. And we just saw Josh Hardiman get hit with a ground ball. Luckily, looks like he's going to be able to stay in the ball game, but you hate to see that for the Fremont Moo, a team that's really playing solid in this second half of the season, and guys just dealing with some injuries that seem to come up at the worst possible time. And boy, I'll tell you what, I know he's playing on the other team, but Josh Hardiman is fun to watch. We saw him earlier in this series deliver a couple big base hits for his team, and just happy to see that ground ball was maybe just a little shiner and nothing more. He's
got one of those effortless swings that we talk about where he can just swing it nice and easy, and he puts a lot of pop behind it. As despite being in last place in the second half, the Moo are only a couple of games back. Their season is far from over. And, I mean, if they could take one here tonight, it could provide a little bit of momentum as Gavin Frazier climbs in to lead things off for the Oahe Zap. Vincent fires in and misses for ball one. Zap have really had the Moo's number this year, 4-0 on the season versus the Moo, outscoring them 34-7, as that one catches his own to even up the count at one apiece.
Yeah, we've come pretty close as you can get with an opposing broadcast crew.
1-1 to Frazier. This is low for ball two.
We've gotten pretty close with those guys, and we kind of joked with them about how they had, felt bad for them. They had that game won seemingly yesterday.
2-1 misses, turns into 3-1.
Took a 2-0 lead pretty late into that ball game, but again, back to the Zap. That's something those are games we saw them lose earlier on in the season.
3-1 now to Frazier. Popped up towards left. That one blooping, and that one's going to land. Gavin Frazier, a bloop single, gets things started for the first hit of the day.
Yeah, there really wasn't much communication between Timon Long and Sevi Aguirre. Looks like Aguirre was chasing after that, and I think Timon Long expected him to get to it, so he wasn't really charging. But that's the left fielder's ball. That's his play to make, where you call off the shortstop, because the shortstop is running pretty much blind. He's got his eyes up in the air. The left fielder can see the whole field. That's his job to call him off. So a little bit of a gift here early for the Zap.
Aiden Johnson sees the first pitch, grounds it to second, bobbled. Aiden Johnson trying to run it out, and everyone's safe.
And another gift there from the Fremont Moo.
It'll be an error for Henry Heyman. And we talked about it yesterday. It's not Christmas in July yet, but the Moo just giving the Zap some presents.
Well, that's how the Zap got in last night's game. A couple of errant throws, some pass balls, scored some runs. Zap took advantage of getting some early walks and some base runners on. And already in the bottom of the first inning, getting another couple freebies.
So big chance here for Vince Polizzi to crack this one wide open in the first. Runners on first and second as Gavin Frazier heads for third. That one gets behind the catcher. Aiden Johnson will get in there standing at second. It took a good hop back to the catcher, Nate Wachter, but he would have needed that one to bounce right into the glove of the second baseman to get Aiden Johnson.
And when you've got a guy like Zach Vincent on the mound for the Fremont Moo, you know this is their ace. You know it's going to be theoretically hard to score runs against him. So with nobody out, runners on second and third, you got to find a way to get these guys in.
1-0 now to Polizzi. Chopped towards Heyman at second, firing over to first in time, but Gavin Frazier comes across the score, and the Zap lead early, 1-0.
I know it was a pass ball on that previous pitch, and, Frazier would have gotten to third anyways, but I don't think if that ball had been 95 right down the middle, they would have been able to get Gavin Frazier stealing. So give credit to Gavin Frazier kind of manufacturing that first run. He gets on base, and then Aiden Johnson with the ground ball, they take advantage of the error, and Frazier doing Frazier things.
As Ty Farwell climbs in, watches strike one. There's a lot of things you can praise Gavin Frazier for, but I think first and foremost his ability as a base runner has been just a great asset for the Zap team to have. No matter how he's been at the plate, he has been just consistently snagging those bags. That one misses inside for ball one.
Well, we saw it earlier in the season where the Zap were just trying to find different ways to score runs. It wasn't coming as easy for them as it is right now with all the bats staying hot in the lineup. Gavin Frazier was one of those catalysts.
1-1, line towards Heyman, grounded I should say. Fired over to first, but Aiden Johnson will come across to score, and just like that you get 2 outs, but you trade 2 runs for him. The Zap lead early.
Yeah, and those look like soft ground balls to the right side, which that's exactly what they were, but they were hit opposite to the third base side. So what that does is it gives those base runners on second and third the opportunity to score very easily. So give credit to Vince Polizzi and Ty Farwell. Even though they grounded out, they still put the ball where it needed to be to bring those runs in.
In comes Connor Hammonds. Vincent dealing, missing for ball 1. So the Zap score a pair on some ground balls, and it's an early lead for the Oahe Zap, in which they trailed for a lot of last night's game as Hammonds fans over that one for strike 1. Connor Hammonds playing first today. He's been pitching so well for the Zap here lately. Now getting a chance to show off the bat. 1-1 turns 1-2. Hammonds coming out aggressive, swinging out a couple of pitches here. See if Vincent can get out of this one. Worked around that jam, giving up 2 outs, but giving up 2 hits, or 2 runs. 1-2 now to Hammond. Swung on and missed, as we'll keep it right here. Got a chance to sit down with Estevan Baka before the game and talk about his big milestone the other night. Let's hear from Steve now. Dylan Beach here with the Oahe Zap, here with star pitcher Estevan Baka, fresh off a complete game, the first in Zap history. Estevan, what was going through your head during that start?
Honestly, just locate, trust my coach. Coach Devin calls on my pitches, just trusting him and the spots he was telling me to put my pitches in, and it worked out, you know?
Estevan, it was a big start in a big series with some playoff implications. How's this team kind of rallying around this playoff push right now that we're back in the lead?
Honestly, it's a beautiful thing to see, man. I feel like everybody in the dugout's coming together. We're starting to solidify our roles as a team, and we just got each other's back, and when the guy gets down, we pick him up, and it's just time to get to work, you know?
Okay, Estevan, we've seen you in a lot of different places this year. You've been a starter, you've been a reliever, you've played third base, you've sung the anthem. What's next for you, Estevan?
Shoot, making it to the playoffs, baby.
That's a good answer. Good luck tonight, Steve.
You know what? The characteristics and the personality that the coaching staff and ownership, Jamie Habiger, Devin Skeld, and Andrew Wiggins, are looking for is Estevan Baka to a T. I mean, if they could have 15 to 20 Estevan Bakas on a team, then I don't know what you could ask more for. That kid has just got so much spirit, so much life, and you know what defines him perfectly is not him doing the YMCA and interacting with the fans and wanting to throw on the shot costume even though he's got to start that day. It's his ability to just stay with a high mentality, high vibes. After giving up 4 runs in the top of the first inning in his start before he went out and went 9 complete innings, he gave up 4 runs but still came off the field with a smile, and you could just hear that kind of radiating through those great questions you asked him, Dylan.
Yeah, and if this team had 15 Estevan Bakas, I think they would have the greatest dugout morale in the league, and if they already don't have it.
Yeah, and I think that Jamie Habiger and Devin Skelt would probably need a big old bottle of Advil just because there would be so much going on in that dugout at all times.
They need some earplugs,
yes,
like my mom has to go to bed at night.
Zap take an early lead, 2-0 after a base hit by Gavin Frazier, an error on the hit by Aiden Johnson. They were able to move to second and third on the pass ball, even though Frazier had third base stolen. And then Vince Polizzi and Ty Farwell brought both runs in. We are back to the top of the second inning, and Jake Fuller back out on the mound after walking the first batter he faced. He gets a ground ball that was turned into a double play by Ty Farwell and Aiden Johnson. And then he got the next out on a line shot out to right field. He started off time and long with a ball outside, but he backs it right up with a swing and a miss for strike 1. Fuller. You know, there's a lot of guys you could argue are the ace on this Zap crew, as Fuller delivers the 1-1 in there for strike 2, catches a piece of the outside corner. And I think there's a lot of guys that throughout the season, Dylan, have continued to make that argument and get in that conversation. But I think if you gave truth serum, as Fuller bounces that one across the left-handed batter's box for ball 2, If he gave truth serum to Jamie Habiger and asked him who his ace was, who is his guy in Game 7 that you want to throw out there on the bump, I believe he would probably say this guy on the mound right now, and Jake Fuller. Is the 2-2 swung on and missed, tipped into the mid of Mason Lang, and it's another strikeout for Fuller. It's the first out of the top of the second inning, and Josh Hardiman coming up.
I think you could give him a bottle of water or a cold beverage, and he'd probably say Jake Fuller still. I mean, he has been outstanding since he joined the team, and since Easton Pratt departed, he has really stepped up into that ace role this year.
Yeah, I guess it's not really a secret as Hardiman grounds the first pitch sharply to Farwell at third. Farwell will fire across the diamond, and it's a one pitch for the second out for Jake Fuller. And he might be slotting into a bit of a rhythm here. His only uncharacteristic at bat came in his first hitter faced in Tanner Jacobson, in which he issued a leadoff walk. But ever since then, granted, I know we're only 2 outs into the top of the second inning, he has sure looked sharp since then. That will bring up Nate Wachter, the Las Vacas catcher, as he dusts off the right-handed batter's box, rocking the pink batting gloves here today.
And he's the beer batter. The fans try to get a Las Cerveza.
I was so curious when something Spanish was going to come from my partner, Dylan Beach. And I know that's probably not the last.
Just you wait.
As the 1-0 is swung on and missed by Wachter, pulled the string, did Jake Fuller on a beautiful off-speed pitch there to even up the count at 1 apiece. Fuller working out of the stretch with nobody on, and that one curls into the inside part of the zone for strike 2. That's 2, says Jeff Adele. 1 strike away. The beer chant gets started here at Hyde Stadium. Fuller ahead to Wachter, 1-2. Looking for a quick top of the second. He deals. That one fouled into the padding behind home plate. Got to tell you, something that's been working much better in the month of July, like the Zap, has been the beer batters. And the Zap pitching, putting them away with strikeouts. There's been a lot of discounted beer here at Hyde Stadium in the month of July. Count stays 1-2. Fuller delivers. It's popped up on the infield. You might hear the groans out of the crowd, but it is the third out, caught by Connor Hammonds. And that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning, the second in a row for Jake Fuller. We head to the bottom of the second. Zap leading 2-0 here on a Friday night at Hyde Stadium.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
6, 7, 8 due up here for the Oahe Zap in the bottom of the second inning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hyde Stadium. We bring you into the broadcast booth for the second to last Friday home game for the Oahe Zap in the regular season. And I'll tell you what, when we looked at the schedule to start off the year, it was a little bit intimidating with how many home games that were going to be here held at Hyde Stadium. Long weeks. We've had some long stretches. But it has been such a fun season, and we can't thank you all, the listening crowd, wherever you may be listening from, for joining us throughout this very, very fun year. You know, I was told by a lot of folks when I brought this to the table of our sales staff, this isn't going to work. This isn't good baseball. People don't really vibe with the Zap. They don't get behind this team. Well, they have been proven wrong. This team has been winning and doing a lot of it, and the crowds have followed suit. Mason Lang will be the first batter here in the bottom of the second, and he takes a first pitch strike from Zach Vincent. Zap started their offensive campaign here today with 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Mason Lang will take a ball on the outside corner to even up the count at 1 apiece. A great start for the Zap here tonight, as this one is rifled down the first base line, but scurrying out of the way ever so casually is Andrew Wiggins, the first base coach for the Zap.
Good thing he's got that helmet on.
I haven't seen any of our coaches have to use those helmets this year, thankfully so. 1-2 to Lang off the plate, make it 2-2.
Coach Skelton was close that one day in the dugout when he got drilled by one.
You'd have to do a lot to get Skelton to wear a helmet. 2-2 to Lang. Runs the count full, misses outside again. It is a warmer day than we've had in days past here in Pierre. Temperatures just under 90 degrees. His payoff pitch is lifted into deep center field. This one's going back. This one is going to be caught at the warning track by Tanner Jacobson. Mason Lang sure put a good swing on it, but he hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. And if that is sent out to right or left, that's a good chance that that one leaves. But it will be the first out of the bottom of the second, and that'll bring up Alex Jackson, the Zap right fielder. Jackson has been playing some outstanding defense for the Zap as of late. He has been making some web gem plays out in the outfield, as he takes a first pitch ball on the inside corner, just off the plate. He has not been hitting like his usual self as of late, as that one catches the outside corner for strike 1. And it's a little bit unfair because of how good the rest of the lineup is. When a guy hits a little bit of a slump, gets a little bit accentuated by how good the rest of the lineup is, as this one's chopped foul down the third base line.
Yeah, it's always going to be peaks and valleys, and you just got to be able to fight out of that valley, get back up to your best, and when the rest of the lineup is hitting well, it takes a little bit of pressure off you.
Yeah, it sure does. You don't feel like you absolutely have to get a hit every time you go up to the plate. Not everybody can be Ty Farwell. Here's the 1-2 to Jackson. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And Jackson will go down swinging. But what Jackson hasn't really been able to do at the plate lately, he has more than made up for in his defense out and right. He delivered a throw out of right field a couple games ago that got a runner thrown out at home that ended up being a crucial point in the ball game. So I think that with Alex Jackson and a bit of slowdown in production at the plate, they will take his defense 7 days out of the week. As Tyler Hoffman will step in and take a first pitch strike from Zach Vincent. Emiliano Curiel waiting in the on-deck circle. Vincent delivers this one chopped towards the shortstop. Sevi Aguirre, he's going to glove, he's going to fire, and he's going to get Tyler Hoffman for the third out of the inning. So we head to the top of the third. Zap still at front, 2-0 here at Hyde Stadium. We'll be back after this short break on River 92.7.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at United.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive, not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey Zap baseball fans, it's Justin Cowart. If you're interested in a podcast that's sports and only sports, you need to check out Players Perspective. I have athletes and coaches from the South Dakota area and across the country, from the high school all the way up to the professional level. Come on and tell stories of their biggest and best moments of their athletic careers. If it's sports, you bet we cover it on Players Perspective Podcast, sponsored by Avera. You can find it wherever you find podcasts by searching DRG Media Group or on drgnews.com. Now, back to myself and Dylan Beach in the broadcast booth for some more Zap baseball.
There's fast, and then there's really fast, and you've got to be really fast to make Andrew Phillips look slow like he did in that bolt race. That was incredible. I don't know who that was, but Andrew Phillips is the fastest guy on this team, and he gave him probably too much of a head start as the first pitch is fouled back for strike one.
I thought you were going to say there's fast, then there's really fast, and then there's that kid that just ran against Andrew Phillips.
I don't know who that was, but they might need to get him on the Zap to pinch run for the playoffs, because that kid was just blazing in the outfield. 0-1 now from Fuller, turns 0-2.
Yeah, great pitch there from Fuller. Started him with a fastball, and I think Seviagiru's probably sitting fastball again, but Fuller with the off-speed pitch catches the outside corner.
See if Fuller can get a strikeout here against Seviagiri. That one skips in front of the plate for ball one.
And it hardly looks as that runner that just beat Andrew Phillips. Looks like he's hardly broken a sweat or even
1-2, swung line the other way to Alex Jackson, leaping and making the play again. Almost an identical jump and snag to the one he had in the first.
You don't know what it is, but it feels like we see some hits out into right field where off the bat you're thinking, uh-oh, this could be two. And then Alex Jackson just casually strolls over to it, makes it look routine. That's the second one, like you mentioned here today. But that Zap outfield is where balls are starting to go to die.
Carter Shellsmith climbs in, watches ball one. It's been a quick start for Jake Fuller. He walked the first batter he saw, but then got a double play and has been cruising ever since. 1-0, that one popped up softly to Aiden Johnson at second, recording the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Jake Fuller's got to feel so comfortable right now on the mound. You know, as good as he pitched against Cade Queen, he was doing so with his back kind of up against the wall. The Zap offense couldn't get base runners. They couldn't get anything going, yet he still continued to deliver. But the Zap offense delivering him 2 early runs, and he feels like he's just kind of cruising through the ballpark right now.
Now Caden Brzezinski in the batter's box, behind in the count 0-1 now after a good offering from Jake Fuller. Zap's ace definitely put some confidence into the lineup that he will provide them the support as that one's dribbled towards first, fielded cleanly by Hammonds, flipped over to Fuller in time for the third out of the inning. So Fuller goes 1-2-3 once again. Zap lead 2-0 here on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend, no joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash, and hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be, and trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Bienvenidos al Estadio de Hyde, where the Oahe Zap take on Las Vacas. And I already want to apologize to any Spanish-speaking listeners out there. I'm sure I messed up at least a part of that, as Estevan Baka wore a water balloon during the break. Emiliano Curiel chopping that one off foul.
He's been working on that since 5:55 when we went on air, folks.
My couple of semesters of Spanish in high school and at Indiana University probably didn't prepare me very well for that segment, as that one's in there for strike 2 to Emiliano Curiel.
Yeah, and just like Jake Fuller has been looking pretty comfortable after that first inning, Zach Vincent has settled in nicely.
Go 2 now to Curiel, skips in for ball 1, and we have all sorts of inning games, and we had the water balloon toss, and I guess the winner's prize was throwing a water balloon directly onto the top of the head of Estevan Baka. He wore it. It was a pretty funny moment, as that one swung on a miss for strike 3 to Emiliano Curiel.
Yeah, and you know, the point of those mid-inning games is to get the kids involved, to get them out there, try to keep the kids, entertained throughout a 9-inning ball game. But I swear about half of them, it looks like the players are having more fun than the kids do.
I think it might keep the players more entertained than the kids at some point.
It's a fair trade-off, because the kids just absolutely adore being around the Zap players.
As Gavin Frazier climbs in, he scored the first run of the ball game in this one, and he reached on a bloop single. Vincent firing in, catching the zone for strike 1. Vincent, ever since that first inning, has had a good job, a good run of getting ahead of the batters. It's really set himself up for some good innings. Frazier fans over that one for strike 2.
Well, you look at the 2 and you probably think some big things, some big hits for the Zap, but go back to how that inning went. It was a soft base hit by Gavin Frazier, an error by the second baseman, Henry Heyman, and then Zach Vincent, after a wild pitch, just got 2 easy ground balls and then a strikeout.
No 2 now to Frazier. Looped right back towards where he hit it in the first. That one also going to get down. He's chugging for 2. Gavin Frazier sliding, and he's safe. He is always running, and you can't take your eye off him for a second on a ball that barely reached past second base. He legs it out for a double.
He is the carbon copy of you give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. He always has the extra base on his mind. We've seen it on walks when the ball scuts away from the catcher just barely, and we saw it right there. Nobody in this ballpark besides Gavin Frazier has any business being on second on a bloop single like that, but he has always got aggressiveness on his mind. And I wouldn't be surprised if he takes third here in this next couple pitches.
I would not be surprised at all, as Vincent fires in for strike 1 to Aiden Johnson. Johnson trying to get another insurance run for his ace, Jake Fuller, today. It'll be Jake Fuller probably passing it off to Josh Porter later in this game, so a good 1-2 there, as that one misses for ball 1.
What, you don't envision another Baka out of Jake
we
Fuller
could
today?
see one if Fuller is pitching like Estevan Baka was the other day. We could see another Baka. He's pitching a Maddox right now, so we won't put any runs into his ERA until they're actually there, as Vincent steps off, keeps Gavin Frazier put at second. He was straying away from the bag, and it was too far for Vincent's comfort, who probably has also seen the scouting report saying, this guy will take any bag you will give him. As the 1-1 swung, lined out into left field. Gavin Frazier getting the stop sign at third. It'll be a station-to-station single for Aiden Johnson.
Could I correct something that you just said there? He will take every bag that you give him. He'll also take bags that you won't give him. He is just going to run on you no matter what. If it's there, if it's not there, he's going to test it. And that's the kind of aggressiveness that we talked and heard from the Zap on Media Day. We're going to play aggressive baseball. We're going to try to swipe bags. And Gavin Frazier, along with some other guys in this lineup, have done just that.
Aiden Johnson poking that one out into left field. Brings up Vince Polizzi with runners on the corners, one away. Vincent coming set. That one goes right back up the middle. Gavin Frazier will trot on in to score. It'll be another station-to-station single as Aiden Johnson heads to second. Polizzi in standing at first.
Polizzi spent a couple of years in Central South Dakota playing for the Oahe Zap, and boy, has it been so much fun to watch him grow over the years. We have seen him get better and better and better as a baseball player. Yes, we know that he can swing it and hit it out of the ballpark, but something we've seen a lot of out of Vince Polizzi this season is just that right there. Hard hit base hits through gaps that score runs. It's been fun to watch him grow as an Oahe Zap ball player.
Runners on first and second for Ty Farwell. He watches that one inside for ball one. And early in the season, before Vince got on that home run stretch, he was kind of resenting these singles. He was like, I'm not a home run hitter anymore. I'm just a put it up the middle single. I'm a backside single guy now. But he got the power rolling, and now he has those to complement his power as Farwell slices that one foul down the third base line.
And this is exactly what you wanted to see if you're a Zap coach. Your team has got a huge series. Feels like we say it every series these last couple weeks is the biggest series of the season, but it is true because each one gets bigger and bigger in importance. But with a huge series against Spearfish coming up tomorrow, 2 games that you feel like you must win, Zap are scoring runs early.
1-1. Out in front of that one by a mile as Ty Farwell fouls that one into the Zap dugout.
And what you can often see out of teams that are in a position like the Zap right now is you kind of overlook your opponent. You've already won the first 2 games against Fremont here in this series. With that huge series against Spearfish coming up this weekend, you kind of can see teams start to think and put their mindset on that series coming up Saturday and Sunday. But the Zap have not taken that for granted. They're not taking the move for granted and trying to score some more here.
1-2 to Farwell, fouled off. Don't know how he got a bat to that one, just barely making contact with it to stay alive.
Must have grazed just the softest of stitches on that baseball for Farwell, but good job by Farwell. We get to see another hip shimmy shake before he climbs in.
Kids of the Pier area will be doing that for years as the 1-2 is swung on a miss from Farwell, and he'll go down for the second out of the inning. So Connor Hammonds will have to get a big base hit here if he doesn't want to strand Polizzi and Johnson. The Zap lead 3-0, an early lead, which Jake Fuller has just pitched so well. Still throwing a no-hitter through 3. As Hammonds watches off speed in there for strike 1.
You know you're not supposed to do that.
I know it, and as soon as I said it, I saw your head jolt, and I was like, dang it, why did I say that? The 0-1 skied out of play by Connor Hammonds. Hits and lands right on top of the press box. As I'm sure one kid will be running out into the streets. If that one landed in Justin's truck bed, I think they would probably hop up in it and grab it.
You're more than welcome to. I know how good those slushies are.
Especially pro broadcaster tip here. Get the lemonade one and ask for a splash or 2 of tea in it. That has been mine and our producer, director extraordinaire, Eli Lewis's favorite treat at the ballpark this year.
Looking forward to hearing from Eli here in another out.
I am too, as Hammonds fouls that one off the end of the bat.
That might have gotten the tape on the grip. I mean, that was so far inside. You talk about not sure how somebody gets a bat on it. That one was magical.
The 0-2 now to Connor Hammonds. Fouled off again. I don't know if that war cry had something to do with it or what, but
I'm going to let you take a guess as to who that came from out of the Zap dugout.
Estevan Baka.
Nailed it.
See if that wills Connor Hammonds to a base hit as Estevan Baka goes again. The 0-2 to Hammonds. Fouled, heading out of play once again. A couple of kids chasing under it for a free slushy.
Yeah, and if you're the Oahe Zap here, even if you're not scoring a bunch of runs off of some of these possibilities with runners in scoring position, doing what Connor Hammonds is doing right now and working into a count, making it go a little bit deeper, that's what you want to do. You want to try to get Zach Vincent's numbers high and try to get to the Moo bullpen.
0-2 misses off the plate for ball one, and the Moo bullpen is thin right now. We were hearing from their broadcasters that assistant coach Tyler Dunham might have to make an appearance in this series once again. If you're the Zap, you would just love to get through this ace and try to see what's in that bullpen left over for you in this game 3. As Hammonds working an excellent at-bat, now even in the count 2 apiece.
And something we'll hear from Eli Lewis in our path to the playoff here after this half inning. A big week for coaches coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, it was an awesome night in the ILB that Eli Lewis will recap here in a moment in the bottom of the third as Hammonds hits that one sharply to Heyman at second, but fielded cleanly. An outstanding play from Henry Heyman to bring that one into the glove as we welcome Eli Lewis into the broadcast booth for tonight's path to the playoffs. Eli, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, so last night we have received an updated standing list for the second half. Zap are currently in first place. Big news for this Zap team. First time ever leading a half. And then last night we had the Casper Spuds and Spearfish Sasquatch in another great game. Casper took that game, and that's kind of what you want as a Zap fan right now. You know, just for them to keep on splitting those games in the series. Spuds currently 11-6, and Spearfish currently 9-5. Also last night we were talking about pitchers having a big night in the bullpen. How about Trey Martin, the Bison head coach, as they beat the Hastings Solidbusters 8-4 last night. Trey Martin kind of just came out there and said, you know, guys, I could do this myself. Finish the game for them as they're, kind of itching in there to the Hastings playoff hopes as they go down.
Yeah, and this is kind of an interesting race to the postseason, Eli, because there's really not any team that's theoretically out of this thing. Everybody still kind of feels like they have a fighting chance, and it always is good too to see the sister organization of the Bison get a big win, because it feels good to see those guys get on the right side of one.
Absolutely, yeah. We had some great games here. They were fun games to watch, as you guys know. So it's really good to see them trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and talk about fun. The coach of the team subbing himself in for the ninth inning and saying, guys, don't worry, we're taking this one home.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a great moment all around last night. Trey Martin, if you're listening to this right now, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations,
First win.
Trey. And Eli, real quick before we get to the top of the fourth inning, how big is this Spearfish series coming up this weekend for the Oahe Zap?
Oh, it's absolutely huge for the Zap team. They just got to go there, take care of business, and hopefully by the end of this weekend we could have that playoff picture be a lot more clear.
Thank you, Eli Lewis. That was our path to the playoffs, sponsored by Dunes Golf. Country Club quality at public course prices. Go have yourself a day at the Dunes as Fuller starts off the top of the fourth inning with a ball on the outside corner. As we are back to the top of the lineup, Tanner Jacobson will check his swing, takes ball 2.
Let's just hope the team doesn't get nervous out in Spearfish with me and Eli in the crowd rather than in the broadcast booth.
It'll be a different look for them, that is for sure.
We'll still be yelling, trust me, guys.
2-0 from Fuller is in there for strike 1 to Jacobson as Fuller gets himself back into this at bat. After starting with 2 balls, he gets a strike, make it a 2-1 count. Fuller delivers, that one off the plate for ball 3. You guys are setting up to have a pretty big weekend out in Spearfish, I hear.
That should be a pretty fun one, getting to get away for a little bit, go watch a massive series with some big playoff implications.
3-1 from Fuller, swung on and missed. Jacobson couldn't keep up with that off-speed pitch. The count runs full, and Fuller started a little bit shaky in this at-bat, has dug his heels in. We'll see if he can get Jacobson here on the payoff pitch. It is chopped back behind Jacobson, foul. Countryside has got some great things on. Countryside Memory Care Center and support. They've got a thrift store. They've also got Pennies for Robert, which is a great fundraising effort that they do. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one off the end of the bat, grounded softly to Hammonds at first. He'll take it himself, step on the bag with the right cleat, and get the first out of the inning. And a little bit more about Countryside Support and Memory Center. They have what I mentioned, Pennies for Robert, provides stipends for cancer patients traveling to and from the Pierre area for appointments. They have raised just north of $73,000. They've also got a couple dollars to go to get to $200,000 for their Memory Center in funds raised. As the first pitch to Henry Heyman is swung on, fouled back into the netting. And, Countryside Support Memory Center doing great things. They've got a donation booth set up here today, but today's not the only day you can donate. If you want to give them a call, 605-945-0827. And Henry Heyman behind 0-1. That play that he made over at second base to end the bottom of the third inning was simply spectacular as he chops one to Farwell. That one is going to take a shot and bounce off the skirt of the infield and roll foul. Maybe lucky there for Jake Fuller that one bounced foul. It was softly hit, and as good and as strong of an arm as Ty Farwell has, that was going to be a tough play to get a speedy Heyman charging down the first baseline. So the count will stay 0-2, and another just one of those phantom hops we've gotten accustomed to here at Hyde Stadium this season.
Yeah, that's a trademarked Hyde hop.
Hyde hop. Man, you're full of those, aren't you?
I can't even take credit for that one. That one's all Jared Pugrad. I saw that on his story after the Nick Golden one, and that's some good stuff right there.
0-2 from Fuller. Swung on and missed. Pulled the string on another beautiful off-speed pitch. It's the second out of the inning, and Fuller is simply on cruise control. So the final out, or final hope of this top of the fourth inning for the Fremont Moo, a.k.a. Las Vacas, will come down to Cooper Fucino. Only took me about 2 or 3 times through the Fremont Moo lineup to get Fucino's name correct, as this one's fouled back our way, up and over the broadcast booth. And what we're seeing after that first walk issued by Jake Fuller in the first inning is he is just going at these hitters, much like we saw with Estevan Baka in his sparkling start 2 days ago. Really just challenging these Moo hitters. Says, here it is, see if you can hit it. And he couldn't hit that one, could Fucino. Quickly 0-2 with a swing and a miss. And I'm glad we don't have anything planned for these top half of the innings because Fuller's just flying through them. Here's the 0-2 to Fucino. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And it doesn't get any better than that from Jake Fuller. He is through another scoreless inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Zap in front 3-0, looking to add to their lead here on a Friday night at the Hyde.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Zap offense looking to keep on rolling as Mason Lang sends the first pitch deep into left field. But it's going to be playable for time and long. 1 pitch, 1 out for Zach Vincent to start off the bottom of the 4th. Zap in front 3-0 after scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. Vince Polizzi came through big in both of the innings that the Zap scored, both in the 1st and in the 3rd. Polizzi grounded out to second in the 1st to score a run. Then he shot one up the middle to score Gavin Frazier, who scored from second base in the bottom of the 3rd. That got us to 3-0. And Alex Jackson will come up to the plate here with 1 out. 4 hits for the Zap. Alex Jackson takes an off-speed pitch for strike 1. And this Zap team playing with a different confidence than we've seen all season as Jackson will quickly fall behind 0-2. 2 good off-speed pitches from Vincent gets him ahead. And maybe, here's the 0-2. That one fouled off towards the Zap dugout. And will land in the bushes. Maybe the youngest Zap fan we've seen here at the ballpark today being held by mom and dad. He's got his eyes on a plate of nachos. Here's the 0-2 to Jackson, chopped softly over to Josh Hardiman at 3rd. He'll play it on a Sunday hop, fired over to first base, and Cooper Fucino squeezes the 2nd out of the bottom of the 4th inning. So it'll be up to Tyler Hoffman here with 2 outs and nobody on. Try to start a 2-out rally for the Zap. Well, that is something they've been keen to all season long, Dylan.
Yeah, and it'd be big to get this 2-out rally, and that young fan's got a shirt on saying making his debut, so maybe he's playing for the Zap tonight too.
I don't know where they could slot him.
Bullpen always needs arms.
This is true. Here's the first pitch to Hoffman. That one just misses inside for ball 1. He's making his debut. Kid can't be older than a couple months old. I mean, he is a youngin', but he's a big Zap fan already as Hoffman takes ball 2 on the inside corner. His parents have 2 hats on. One says boy mom and one says dad. Need to get him a hat. I think he looked pretty good in a bison hat, maybe.
Yeah. And, I mean, maybe you throw him out in left field and have Andrew Phillips out in center. His speed could probably cover for him.
I think you're right. We could probably put that young fan in center, put Phillips in right and Curiel in left. Hoffman took a strike, but now takes another ball and works the count to 3-1. 50-50 raffle bringing in some big numbers these past 2 days. About $319 won in game 1 for one lucky fan, and yesterday was about $250. As Hoffman will take a 5-pitch walk down to first base. That'll bring up Emiliano Curiel. But it sounds like it's bad news for all the 50-50 players down there because I think Eli Lewis and Dylan Beach split a couple bucks and bought the winning ticket.
Yeah, we're going to see. We both said we bought winners. We're going to see which one of us, or if either one of us were lying.
Now, are you going to do the right thing and donate the money back to the Pierre Wildcats, or are you taking it to Happy Jacks and going to try to double it?
Yeah, I mean, we are going out to spearfish, man, and go out to a casino, double it, and then give them double their money back.
There you go. That's always how it works out,
Yeah.
as Curiel takes ball 1 high.
I can only lose 100% of it, but just think of how much I could double it.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's what Michael Scott said. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hoffman taking off for second base. It's a ball on the outside corner, and that ball scoots out into center field. Hoffman thought about taking third, probably thought better of it as Tanner Jacobson was backing up the throw. And yes, folks, I know that was a Wayne Gretzky quote, but it was stolen by Michael Scott from The Office.
And Coach Habiger was kind of just pointing at Tyler Hoffman the whole way, like, you better not come to third.
If you come over here, you might as well keep running to the parking lot, young man. 2 outs, runner on second, 2-0 count for Emiliano Curiel. As he lifts this one down the right field line towards the Zap bullpen. A vacated Zap bullpen. No need for anybody to be up and warming with the start that Jake Fuller has had. So Curiel still ahead in the count, 2-1. Curiel has a similar bit of superstition like Ty Farwell does with his hip shake. Kind of does it with his right shoulder as he steps in. That one will miss outside, and it's 3-1 for the second straight batter. He kind of drives that right shoulder through. Almost as if to do exactly what Ty Farwell tells himself to do. Make sure you clear everything through. And they almost got Tyler Hoffman. Did they get Tyler Hoffman? They sure did. They picked him off at second base as he was dancing, and the 2-out rally comes to an end. Hate to do that when Curiel is a 3-1 count at the plate, but a learning moment for Tyler Hoffman as he heads back to the dugout. And we head to the top of the 5th inning. Zap still in front, 3-0 here at Hyde Stadium.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Tug of war going underway here at Hyde Stadium. Brooks Cartwright getting in on the fun. We talk about how the players join, and I think that's the first time Brooks has tried to hop in on the tug of war. But he sees his team losing, and he
just says, "My hands are clean."
Leaves. As they're dragging a kid. As Charles comes out for it, he's trying to help out the team, but
Charles, one of the Pier Wildcats athletes, kind of just did the same thing Brooks did. He got his hand on. He said, "This team's losing. I'm not going to be a part of a losing squad."
They were dragging a kid in a South Dakota State shirt just along with the line. He was supposed to be the anchor, but he was playing the role of more like an anchor on a boat. He was just getting dragged along.
Yeah, his blue SDSU shirt now has a big patch of brown on the back. Some of that mud from today's rainstorm got on the back of his shirt. He never gave up, though, and that's the Jack's mentality.
He held on the whole way. As Timon Long, Josh Hardiman, and Nate Walker do up for the Moo. They find themselves trailing 3-0 here on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Fuller comes set, fires in there for strike one. Fuller has been working quickly in this one. Another good outing for him in a Zap uniform. Has been a great addition to this staff in the second half of the year. As that one is lined sharply into right field. That one's not coming back tonight. A no-doubter on that one. Breaks up the no-hitter for Jake Fuller. Timon Long gets one back for the Moo.
I told you not to say anything. Man, there's no doubters, there's big swings, and then there was that. That was absolutely blasted. That one bounced in the parking lot and then over the train tracks out in right center field. I mean, talk about a great piece of hitting from Timon Long. That was destroyed. That's one for the highlight tape there for Timon Long.
Yeah, and in a game where the Moo have felt kind of uninterested for a large portion, that might be the bolt of energy they need, as that one misses for ball one. Jack Pates, the bolt in the races, typically is parked out there in the outfield. He already has a cracked windshield from one foul ball this year. I bet he was kind of worried about that one, as that one swung on a miss for strike one. So Hardiman trying to keep up what Timon Long started. For Jake Fuller, you got to shake it off. You're still pitching an excellent game, as that one's fouled off the plate for strike two.
Yeah, first ding for Jake Fuller here this afternoon. I would say maybe that's something that he could use to settle in, but he seems settled this whole game.
That one's grounded softly up the middle. Frazier fielding, firing over to first, but it'll pull Hammonds off the bag. Not sure it would have mattered, but an excellent play from Gavin Frazier to keep that one in the infield.
Yeah, little Nice little poke there from a fast runner and Josh Hardiman. He's been great this series. He's really done some damage to Zap pitching. But, you know, you get another opportunity to turn 2 here. Jake Fuller's shown he can get those ground balls when he needs them.
That's some adversity here for Jake Fuller. See how he settles into it as Nate Wachter comes to the plate. He chops that one foul on the first offering. Ty Farwell already turning a double play in this one. This middle infield unit is so good at turning those. It's a quick runner in Hardiman. Then you have the catcher and Wachter behind him. So you feel like if you could get a ground ball here, it could produce 2 big outs for Jake Fuller. The 0-1 now. Misses high and inside. Count runs even at 1 apiece.
Well-deserved off day for Jared Pugrad here this afternoon.
1-1. Skied out into right. Alex Jackson trying to chug for it, but that one will drift foul, landing on the home plate of the Zap bullpen as tonight's beer batter falls behind 1-2 in the count. Jake Fuller might have to give Alex Jackson a second to catch his breath, just now getting back to his spot out in right field. So Wachter trying to avoid being the first out of the inning, or even worse, being the first 2 outs of the inning. The 1-2, that one chopped. This one might be 2, but it one squeaks up the middle. Gavin Frazier was diving for it, but an excellent piece of hitting, sending that one right back where it came from Wachter.
Yeah, and you see this sometimes with offenses. They kind of go through the lineup and don't get anything going the first time around, but then they start to get a little bit more comfortable with the starting pitcher. And it seems like what the Moo have done here, and I like to see this from Mason Lang. He sees Jake Fuller give up 3 straight hits, going to go out, talk to his guy, now pull in the entire infield, say, all right, let's tighten things up a little bit. Yes, we've been cruising. Yes, we're in the lead. It's a 3-1 ball game, but you've got the go-ahead run at the plate. So time to tighten things up a little bit, focus back in. A lot of baseball left to be played, and a good team in the Fremont Moo that can have shown that they can score some runs on you.
Yeah, they are not out of this season despite being in 5th place for the second half, but this is about the most balanced playoff push you will ever see. There's just a couple of games separating first place from 5th. As the Zap jumped in and leapfrogged the Spearfish Sasquatch last night into first place after they fell to Casper last night. So now as a Zap fan, you look back and you start rooting for the Sasquatch again, as Bunt's shown. That one bunted softly and nobody goes to field it. That one drifting and finally going foul.
Wow, that was a gorgeous bunt. Just happened to have a little bit of side spin on it, and a good job there by Fuller and Farwell to stay patient, let it roll foul. That was a couple inches away from loading the bases with nobody out and really making this jam a lot bigger than it needed to be.
Neither
Fuller can get this out here.
Neither one of them had to get on their hands and knees and try to blow it foul. The 0-1 now from Fuller. Hardiman, Wachter, bunts being showed again as he pulls it back for ball 1. Frazier was heading for third because of a bunt. Hardiman was straying way off that second base bag.
Love to see the center fielder maybe come in on another one of those plays and sneak up behind Hardiman. Maybe get the throw down to get the lead runner. Not sure that's something you practice too often as a defense, but
see if the crystal ball remains true. The 1-1. This is low for ball 2. Sevi Aguirre working a count here. The Moo trailing 3-1, but with nobody away and runners on first and second, this could be a big inning for them. So they're still battling for the playoffs. All these teams fighting to see who's going to take on Spearfish at the end of the year. As that one's chopped to Frazier. Fielded clean, fired over to Johnson, now over to first, not in time. Just barely missing out on a double play, missed him by a step. But the double play still on with Sevi Aguirre at first.
And I'm going to point over to our replay booth here in Dillon Beach and have him run back and take a quick peek at that one. That was a close play. Bang, bang. It's a play we've seen get called out at first quite a bit.
by the look on Dylan Beach's face, Chris Dozark may have missed the call there.
That might have been a present there. As that one, I will say, was very, very close, and I'll let the viewers decide if they want to rewind it or not. But you'd have a good argument for 2 outs right now if you're the Oahe Zap. Now having to fight back. Fuller quickly behind in the count 2-0. So nobody scores on the ground ball, but Hardiman now just 90 feet away at third, making this a 1-run ball game. As Fuller comes back with a strike. Count now 2-1. Massive if Fuller could get out of this jam with just allowing that home run. Keep that lead at 2. Hold on to some insurance. 2-1, fouled off for strike 2. Good couple of pitches for Fuller to get this one evened up.
Yeah, this is a really good opportunity for Jake Fuller to pitch in a high-leverage situation with playoffs right around the corner. This is one of those situations you will often find yourself in.
As he checks on the runner at first. Not in time. Sevia Aguirre wasn't strayed that far off the bag. As he gets back sliding. Strikeout would be huge. A ground ball would be even better as he checks on the runner again. Trying to keep him put, keep that double play on for his middle infield, who has proven the ability to be able to turn them, and just about turned one. Missed it by a hair of a second. As the 2-2 now. Swung, lined out into left. Hoffman charging, diving, and making the play. Hardiman will tag in and score. But what a grab by Tyler Hoffman.
I thought there was a 0.0% possibility that he was going to be able to get to that ball. But, again, how good has this Zap outfield been these last couple weeks? That play by Tyler Hoffman, that is one that you don't see made often. You see that one get down in front of a left fielder, but he stretches out. And take this into account, too, staring back into the sunlight, battling that. What a play.
Unbelievable snag by Tyler Hoffman to save a hit as Fuller gets back ahead of a batter 0-1. It's kind of been his issue this inning. He's been behind in some of these counts, having to fight back in them, see if he can get out of this jam and retire Caden Brzezinski. 0-1 now. Swung, lined. Hoffman can't get to that one. He would have needed to be about 20 feet tall to be able to reach that one. So that one will reach station-to-station single, now 2 away for the Moo.
And again, if you're Fuller, you got the 2 outs, you got force outs at every base. Just lock in here, get yourself out of this inning. You're still out in front, just keep it that way. You give your offense an opportunity to come up in the bottom half of the inning and score a couple more runs.
Tanner Jacobson trying to play hero for the Moo. Still trailing 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th, but all of their runs have come in this frame, or top of the 5th, I should say. So that one misses for ball 1. Fuller is moving so quickly, this inning kind of just being a log jam. As he checks on a couple of runners, comes set and deals, and misses for ball 2. You do not want to let this avalanche into one of those big innings we saw the Zap give up in the first half of the season. Those are just momentum killers, and the Zap have been getting away from it. You can live with a 2-run frame if you're Jake Fuller. Your offense can strike at any moment. 2-0 turns 3-0 for Fuller. Just got to get 1 out to get back to your dugout. Some action going on in the Zap bullpen. It'll be Josh Porter getting ready to go. That was the blueprint all day. Zap Fuller handed off to Porter. The 3-0 comes back with a strike. So a good comeback pitch there from Jake Fuller.
Sure was, and not back in the driver's seat yet, but knowing you can hit the zone and get a good pitch in there for a strike, build a confidence a little bit.
Sometimes you just got to throw strikes. He does just that to even up the count, or run the count full.
And the crowd getting behind him here. Been a long frame for Jake Fuller.
Trying to will him back to the dugout. Payoff pitch now from Fuller. Readies, fires out of the stretch. Swung on and missed in the dirt. An awesome pitch from Jake Fuller ends the inning. The Zaps still lead 3-2 here on River 92.7.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
They're throwing out hot dogs at Hyatt Stadium. It's raining Nathan's hot dogs. As a couple of lucky fans getting a free snack as they announced the 50-50 raffle, and me and Eli Lewis, we didn't win.
What? Well, you guys said you bought the winning tickets.
That's what Charles told me.
Never known Charles to be a liar. They might need to do a recount.
Starting to think I've been had. It's money to a good cause as Emiliano Curiel steps back in. I bet he wishes he could have that 3-1 count the last time he was up, as he's already behind 0-1. Tyler Hoffman got picked off at second base. And now Emiliano Curiel back at the plate as he skies that one towards right. That'll be settled under for the first out by Caden Brzezinski.
Yeah, and things have certainly tightened up here for the Oahe Zap, all in the matter of 1/2 inning. Felt like you were cruising along, everything was going your way, but then the Moos strike for 2 runs. And you almost feel like you've got to get a little bit of insurance run to make yourself back into that, get yourself back into that comfortable mindset in that spot.
You just got punched in the mouth. You got to throw a strike back. As Gavin Frazier steps in. Watch it, strike one. A good candidate to get a run here. Gavin Frazier has scored every time he's stepped up to the plate here tonight, as he swings through that one for strike 2. The Moo having a great top of the 5th, scoring 2 runs, stranding a couple, but good work from Jake Fuller to get out of that jam. Just the 2. The 0-2 now to Gavin Frazier. Misses inside for ball 1.
Good take there from Frazier. One looked like it might catch the inside corner, but a good hitter's eye.
Frazier turns on that one, foul towards Capitol Ave. There's a car heading that way. If he'd have left the house 5 seconds sooner, he might have had a crack at his windshield.
Good thing he forgot his wallet on the counter.
I was leaving the house to come down to the ballpark. I left my keys one time. I left my backpack the other, as Frazier swings to that one for strike 3. And I just kept opening my door, and I would just forget something every single time. I thought I was just going to be late today.
Well, get ready for that to happen all the time as you get older, Dylan.
Because you reach down, you're in your pockets, you're like phone, wallet, keys, maybe the AirPods, and it was just not all there for me today.
My mother was notorious for that. We would all get in the car, get ready to go, and then she'd have to get out and go get something from inside.
My mom does that a couple of times,
I think that's
too.
a thing that just happens with mothers.
Aiden Johnson climbs in, watches strike 1. It would always be the phone, and I would run upstairs, grab it, and I'd get back downstairs. And maybe there'd be another thing, but she's been pretty good about that as of late, as the 0-2 after the foul ball from Aiden Johnson. See if he can get something going here for the Oahe Zap. 2 away. Still a 1-run lead, but that doesn't feel safe after the frame the Moo just had. 0-2 now to Johnson. Line back the other way. Brzezinski making the third play for the third out of the inning. Another good inning for Zach Vincent as the Zap still looking for answers. They lead 3-2 over the Fremont Moo.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at United.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive. Not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey, Jake Fuller looking to settle back in as Jack cleans up the buckets from the bucket toss. No winner yet again, as I don't know if you can even win that game. We've actually seen one money ball toss make it into the bucket, but the bucket spilt over on its side. And it turns out that that is not even good enough to win the game. You got to leave it standing, which begs the question,
is it rigged?
That is the toughest of all the mid-inning games. Zap still in front 3-2 as we cruise into the top of the sixth inning here at Hyde Stadium. Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis on a perfect Friday night in front of another full crowd here to watch the Zap trying to get the sweep of the Fremont Moo. Fuller looking to bounce back from that 2-inning top of the fifth, and he starts off with an off-speed swinging pitch as Henry Heyman will fall behind 0-1.
And Eli Lewis is trying to get so comfortable on the headset, he's left it on.
Yeah, the audio seems to work a little bit better than those Walmart earbuds. Heyman behind 0-1 drives one into center field, and that'll bounce in for a base hit. So the Fremont Moo offense has been striking. They scored 2 in the top of the fifth. They've got 5 hits, all of which came in that fifth inning. A solo shot for the Moo. Now Cooper Fucino will step in. Timon Long was the guy who got things going for the Moo in that fifth inning frame. He hit a solo shot into way out of ballpark right. As the first pitch to Fucino is off the plate for ball 1. I think Fuller could really use a ground ball somewhere on the infield here. 1-0 from Fuller is lined down the right field line, but curls foul. Count evened up at 1 apiece. Another great crowd here. Made their way out, as expected. Fuller with the 1-1. Delivers and gets a fly ball out to right. Jackson giving chase, tailing away from him, looking up, and that's going to drop at the wall. So Jackson will fire in a slow jog around the bases. They had to stay put on first base to Henry Heyman to make sure that that was not gloved and caught. And now things have kind of flipped on their side for Jake Fuller, who went 4 innings of no-hit baseball. Now with nobody out, he's got runners on second and third. Zap are being out-hit now by the Fremont Moo, 6-4 in that category. Zap still in front 3-2, but Devin Skelton wants to go talk to his starting pitcher as all of a sudden the Fremont Moo have really put the pressure on the Oahe Zap. Didn't really see this coming after the start Jake Fuller was having.
And the Moo, it just seems like they have flipped a switch. Maybe a speech from the coaching staff or something getting them going, or maybe seeing Timon Long just destroy that baseball. But they are a different team in the second half of this ball game.
They sure are, and now the guy who left the yard, Timon Long, will be the hitter. as that bullpen is continuing to loosen up. Josh Porter down warming for the Zap. The meeting has commenced. Devin Skelton trying to fire up Jake Fuller. So we'll see if he can settle in and battle back here. Nobody out. Zap in front 3-2. And the first pitch to Long is in there for strike one. A good fastball to start off the at-bat. Sun creeping back down behind us, starting to set. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed, make it 0-2. So he started him with a fastball and then comes back with an off-speed pitch. We'll see what's on the menu here for the 0-2. Long look into his catcher, Mason Lang. Jake Fuller now coming set. And delivers. In there for strike three, and Timon Long goes down looking. Fastball, off-speed fastball was the dose from Jake Fuller, and he gets the first out of the inning via strikeout. That's his 5th K of the ball game, and he'd love to work up another one here to Josh Hardiman. Not out of the woods yet. Aiden Johnson keeping the runner close at second, and it's going to be hit to Johnson. That's going to be gloved on the second bounce. It's fired to first for the second out, but we are tied up at 3. As Henry Heyman scores from third, Cooper Fucina will move over to third. And man, this thing is just kind of done a complete 180 for the Oahe Zap.
And if you can get this out here, you will take that trade, but you still have to get a big third out here, and we have seen how difficult at times it has been to get that third out for the Zap pitching staff.
And it's Nate Wachter. He drives one into center field. Curiel tracks over to it and catches that bullet out of midair. So a big swing, but Emiliano Curiel was there to field it. But the Moo tie it up at 3 apiece. We head to the bottom of the 6th to see if the Zap can answer.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media peek can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
3, 4, 5, and Palizzi, Farwell, and Hammonds due up here in the bottom of the 6th. The Fremont Moo have scored 3 runs in the last 2 innings to tie it up at 3 apiece and have kind of shell-shocked the Oahe Zap, who are cruising along before the Fremont Moo woke up. And the Moo, still a competitive team, trying to battle for a playoff spot from the outside looking in. Palizzi taking a ball 1 on the outside corner there from Zach Vincent. But the Zap have got to win this game here tonight. Polizzi chops that one sharply to third underneath the glove of Josh Hardiman, and that's a good start for the Zap. We'll see how they score it, but either way, Polizzi will be standing on first with nobody out, and Ty Farwell coming to the plate.
And I feel like that one's got to go down as a hit. That was a hard one for Hardiman to field, and just couldn't quite get the glove on it.
And to move off to his left, and it was grounded sharply by Polizzi. Just about everything that comes off the bat of Polizzi is hard hit. So we'll see if Farwell can keep the train moving. Nobody out. Polizzi at first, and he takes ball one outside, does Ty Farwell. 3 runs on 6 hits in the 5th and the 6th inning for the Moo. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Zap. Farwell will take a strike on the outside corner to even the count at 1 apiece. Kind of a varying breeze here at Hyde Stadium. It picks up, then slows down, but it is blowing from left to right from the catcher's eye. The 1-1 to Farwell, chopped towards the shortstop. This could be 2. Aguirre to Heyman. Heyman to first, but not in time to get the flying Farwell. But they do get Polizzi for the first out. Farwell will walk back to first base, takes off the batting gloves, and now Connor Hammonds will step in. First movement in the bullpen for the Fremont Moo we've seen today. As we look down, it will be Brant Phillips warming up. We saw Brant Phillips pitch earlier on in this series. First pitch to Hammonds, swung on and missed. A good off-speed pitch from Zach Vincent as his pitch count climbing slowly, but he's up into the 80s now. Started the inning at 75 pitches. They check on Farwell at first. He's back diving safely. Hammonds taps either side of the home plate. Vincent looks over at Farwell at first. 0-1 pitch to Hammonds. Gets by the catcher, Nate Wachter. So Farwell will take his way and take his base. And with 1 out, Connor Hammonds is a runner in scoring position. Need the Zap to break through with a big base hit here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll see what the plan is for Jake Fuller in the top of the 7th, if he is going to come back out or if it's going to be Josh Porter. Hammonds takes ball 2 on the outside corner. Both bullpens busy at the moment. 2-1 to Hammonds, just off the plate for ball 3.
And there was a pair of arms getting loose for the Zap, and we'll see which ones they end up opting for, if it's Porter or if it's one of the newcomers.
A couple new guys have joined the Zap organization here in the late part of this regular season, as this one is driven into the right field gap. That's going to get down. Farwell's being waved around third. Throw coming in. Cut off, throw to the plate, not in time, and Connor Hammonds delivers a huge base hit at the bottom of the 6th inning to give the Zap the lead. Ty Farwell scores from second. Zap back out in front, 4-3 on a huge base hit from the Zap first baseman.
Yeah, that's a big moment right there. He's had a few big hits this year, but that will be a big one.
So Mason Lang will come up after the big base hit from Connor Hammonds. Only 1 out still. Lang with a check swing on a high fastball up in the zone. It was a ball, no appeal offered. It was a close play, but Lang was able to keep the bat up. There's the 1-0 to Lang. He swings through that one, fouls it off and out of the glove of Wachter. So Connor Hammonds will have to make the slow walk back to first base after he took off for second.
We'll see if Lang can come up big here. During the auction the other night, a lot of people, they'll yell things from the crowd, try to get bigger bids, and they were auctioning off his jersey, and he was like, that was the team MVP last year, by the way.
Don't need to remind anybody of that. Lang had a big year last year, having another good season here in 2025 as he takes a ball outside for ball 2. He had a big 2-run double a couple nights ago that tied the game up for the Zap. As he drives it to the same spot he hit it against Casper, into deep left field, and that's off the glove of Timon Long. What looked routine turns anything but that. Lang will get to second, Hammonds to third. And now things are in motion for the Oahe Zap as Jake Daly will come in to hit. He will take the spot of Alex Jackson. And Timon Long had to get on his horse to get to that one, but he had the positioning for it. It just kind of rattled off the top of his mitt. And now it looks like the Moo infield is going to play in, trailing 4-3. And Jake Daly has an opportunity to deliver some massive insurance runs here for the Zap in the bottom of the 6th inning. So now with the infield in on the skirt of the grass, Jake Daly has a lot of real estate to work with, and he drives the first pitch back up the middle for a base hit. 1 run will score. They're waving Lang around third. He is going to score standing, and Jake Daly comes in when they need him and gets a 2-run RBI single. And happy birthday to the kid, Jake Daly. Usually you get presents on your birthday, but he delivers a huge gift for the Oahe Zap. It's a 2-run RBI single, and with the infield playing in, Henry Heyman in his normal position probably would have been able to catch that ball on the fly, but they're trying to prevent the runs from scoring, and the opposite works out for the Moo, and it's 6-3 Zap.
That is an awesome piece of hitting. Seeing one you like and you just drill it up the middle.
And now Nick Golden's going to turn and square a beautiful bunt down that's going to go off the right hand of Zach Vincent, and everybody's going to be safe.
Talk about a response, Justin.
That is exactly what the Zap have done here. So far cry from what we saw back earlier on in this season when the Zap would get in front early. Teams would answer that with a couple runs of their own, and the Zap would be left speechless. But they have come back huge here in the bottom of the 6th. A 3-run frame for the Zap. They lead 6-3, and with just 1 out, it's Emiliano Curiel with runners on first and second. What a beautiful bunt from Golden. Now a chop back towards second, and they're going to be able to try to turn to a beautiful pick over there at first for Cooper Fruccino as Nick Golden tripped on his way to second. But the Zap score 3 runs and take a 3-run lead in the ballgame. They lead 6-3. We head to the top of the 7th inning here at Hyde Stadium.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Nightly salute to service here at the ballpark as the newest Zap member got here in the middle of the game last night. It's Jake Hutter, lefty, getting his first action here for the Zap this season. Be a nice get if he could turn into a key bullpen piece here late in the year.
And how about the Zap giving him 3 insurance runs to work with? You certainly feel a lot more comfortable coming into your first outing with a new ball club, with it being a 3-run lead in your favor rather than being tied in a 3-3 knotted up game in a crucial must-win ball game late in the regular season.
They threw Budmeyer into the fire last night. Now they're throwing Hutter in with a couple of insurance runs to work with. Zap leads 6-3 after a massive bottom of the 6th, scoring 3 runs, bringing in that response that they needed after they got punched in the 5th and the 6th, tying things up. But this is a resilient bunch that is willing to go to war for everybody in that dugout. And you can really see that fight on full display every time they take the field here at Hyde Stadium. The Zap, 19-10 at home this season, looking for their 20th home victory at Hyde Stadium. As Hutter finishes his warm-up session, he'll get the bottom of the lineup, Number 3, Sevi Aguirre. The 7, 8, 9, Sevi Aguirre, Carter Shellsmith, and Caden Brzezinski. As Hutter, his first offering as a Zap, misses high for ball 1.
And Hutter looked good in his warm-up tosses. Would love to see the same approach that Fuller had. Just try to pepper the zone.
The 1-0 just misses for ball 2.
Put some pitches in the zone and let your defense make some plays, especially working with a 3-run lead. You get the opportunity to get a little bit more aggressive.
Bunt being shown, then pulled back, but didn't matter. It's in there for strike 1.
Brant Phillips continuing to get loose in the Moo bullpen for the second straight inning.
Be the second time we've seen him this series, as that one misses off the plate for ball 3. And we saw last night Bud Meyer walk his first batter for settling in nicely. See if Hutter can avoid doing the same. Jake Hutter out of Maryville. Trying to introduce himself to this Zap crowd on a high note, as that one is blasted out to right field, foul. So now a payoff pitch incoming for Jake Hutter.
Yeah, good for Hutter working back in this count after falling behind 2-0. See if he can register his first K with the OZ.
3-2 payoff pitch fouled out of play towards the broadcast booth. That one was looking like one that Jeff Adele might be able to stick his hand out and catch, but lands on top of the broadcast booth instead. So we'll see another payoff pitch here from Hutter. Sets and fires, just misses off the plate for ball 4. Mason Lang trying to calm him down a little bit. It's no easy place to make your debut in front of another good crowd here at Hyde Stadium on a Friday night. But a double play would be some good medicine here for Hutter. We saw Bud Meyer get a double play last night to help himself out, or he eventually got his first strikeout of his Zap career. The 0-0 from Hutter in there for strike 1.
Yeah, it looked like Shellsmith was a little bit on the guessing side there with that one. His feet were shuffling a little bit when that ball broke across the strike zone.
See what they cook up for him here. The 0-1 now. Swung line foul down the right field side. Now Hutter out in front in the driving seat. 0-2. Runner on first, nobody away. The Zap lead 6-3 in a big game. Could see them extending their playoff lead right now. So we heard the breakdown from Eli Lewis as Hutter fires over to first, and that one gets away from Hammonds. So the double play ball is off, and the runner's now at second. Still now just firing it into Ty Farwell.
Yeah.
Not what you want to see there.
No, and I think with an 0-2 count, you really shouldn't be all too worried about that runner at first, especially with a right-handed hitter with Mason Lang having a clear path of vision down to that first base bag. We'll see if Hutter can come back and get a big strikeout here and just kind of wipe that clean.
Checks on the runner at second. Comes set and deals. Off speed.
Whoa.
Just misses. Thought that one was good down Main Street. But missed somewhere according to home plate umpire Austin Ritchie. Austin Ritchie was part of that 3-man umpire crew a couple of nights ago. As that one swung on and missed. Hutter gets his first K swinging for the Oahe Zap.
Good pitch from Hutter. Great to see him go back. He never strayed from the zone in that at-bat. Maybe that was just kind of what he needed to get through his first hitter, throw a couple live pitches before settling in. See if he can get Caden Brzezinski here before going back to the top of the lineup.
And he was just peppering the zone there. Caden Brzezinski steps in. Sevi Aguirre on second, one away here for the Moo. First offering to Brzezinski misses for ball 1. Mentioned Jake Hutter the newest Zap player, just barely, not anymore, because another pitcher got here today, Ryan Wingard, a teammate of Aiden Johnson at Avila. 1-0, turns 1-1 for Hutter.
Good pitch there from Hutter. Off speed, breaking back in across the hands of the left-handed hitter Brzezinski. More of that.
As the 1-1 here. The 1-1 with one away from Hutter. That one fouled off towards Capital Ave for strike 2.
Yeah, he's really favoring that off speed, and it's a good off speed pitch too. Sometimes that can be your best friend.
Hutter, southpaw, like we said, out of Maryville. Spent a lot of his freshman year rehabbing an ACL injury from his senior season of high school football. So he fires in there, just missing for ball 2.
A couple of these pitches have looked fantastic from up here. Mason Lang showing him a little love, pointing the glove at him, so that's a good pitch.
Even if that missed, that's a good spot to miss that. So it looked pretty good from up here. 2-2 now. Back-to-back Ks for Hutter. Swung on and missed, goes down Brzezinski. That's a big couple of outs for Hutter.
Yeah, now you've worked yourself into a position where you don't even have to worry about that runner on second. You can wipe that errant pickoff attempt off your plate. Try to go after Tanner Jacobson here, especially with the 3-run lead.
Now Henry Heyman climbs in, today's second baseman for the Moo. Trying to deliver for his team, now trailing by 3, as that one is watched in for strike 1. As it's actually Tanner Jacobson in the box. Got ahead of ourselves a little bit. Hutter looking for his 3rd straight K. The 0-1 misses high for ball 1. Couple of pitches that feel like coin tosses for Hutter. So close on a few of these offerings. But it has been a promising start for him after issuing that leadoff walk. The 1-1 runs inside for strike 2.
Good lively fastball from Hutter there. Ever since that leadoff walk, he's just been really attacking the zone. And it's been working for him. Even on his misses, they are just barely off the plate.
Hutter looking for his 3rd straight K. The 1-2 swung, driven towards center field. Curiel chasing, sizing under it, and making the play for the 3rd out. The Zap might have found their new closer. Welcome to Pier Jake Hutter. An outstanding debut. Keeps it scoreless here in the top of the 7th. The Zap leads 6-3 here on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and this station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Jared Pugrads grabbed a bat coming into today's ball game for Gavin Frazier. as it'll be the top of the lineup. 1, 2, 3, Pugrad, Johnson, and Polizzi trying to add some insurance. It was a great start to his Zap career for Jake Hutter. He came in relief and really shut things down after issuing that leadoff walk and then giving that error to let him reach second.
And not a bad swap out for Gavin Frazier to be able to plug Jared Pugrad in. See how quickly he jumps on the newest Moo pitcher.
It's Brant Phillips on the bump now. He misses low for ball 1. Last night, I hate to say it, but that one could have been a strike last night. It was kind of all over the place. As the 1-0 now to Pugrad. Hasn't seen a pitch to jump on yet. 2 straight balls from Brant Phillips.
Yeah, that strike zone got a little bit wonky towards the end of the ball game. There was a couple that really made you scratch your head. Yes.
2-0 now to Pugrad. Off speed drops in there for strike 1. Good comeback pitch from Phillips. See if he can keep the deficit where it is for the Moo. They find themselves trailing 6-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 now. Line towards center by Pugrad. That one's going to get down for a leadoff single. You just thought he was going to dive and make a Superman grab on that one, but Tanner Jacobson letting Pugrad get that base hit. We saw Pugrad get robbed last night, and he was in just disbelief. He was walking back to the dugout, threw his hat off and everything.
I mean, it's just been a comedy all season long for Jared Pugrad because he hits the ball so hard, but it seems like every team's best play of the game comes off the bat of Jared Pugrad.
Yeah, Jared Pugrad, I talked to him after the game last night, and I was like, man, you might be the most unlucky guy in Pierre. I don't know if he fares any better in the team poker nights, but you'd have to hope all his unluckiness on the field pays off there as Johnson watches ball 1.
I sure hope it does because he has gotten bad luck for about 9 guys through the lineup with some of the balls that he's hit that have been robbed from him.
1-0 to Johnson turns 2-0.
But another good start to an inning for the Oahe Zap. Get the leadoff hitter on.
Now one more hit would get him to double-digit hits on the day. So it's been a good day at the plate for the Oahe Zap. Leading from the start as Johnson skies that one out to right, but drifts foul. Lands right in that Oahe Zap bullpen. I love ballparks with the bullpen on the field. You got to stay alert if you're those bullpen guys down there.
Just feels old school.
That just feels like how baseball should be played.
Yeah.
Make those bullpen guys warm up in terror a little bit sometimes.
And while we're at it, take the fences out from in front of the dugouts.
Yeah. They shouldn't even have a dugout.
Just go the whole way.
Johnson still ahead in the count, 2-1. Watches that offering in for strike 2. Phillips, good control of that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that one was nicely placed.
Johnson, such a big leader for this team. The leader of the grounds crew. They got this field looking pristine today. He watches that one into the dirt for ball 3, and if we'd have played this game at 1, that would have been into the mud because that storm last night really did a doozy on this field, and that home plate tarp had some cracks in its coverage. As the 3-2 now to Johnson, misses off the plate for ball 4. But we talk a lot to the Fremont Moo broadcasters, and they were kind of wondering, like, is this field going to be ready to play? And I was like, oh, you haven't seen our grounds crew and work yet.
You just wait.
And I told them about that Casper game where we resumed around, 10:30?
It was about then, yeah.
And they had sideways rain, 80-mile-an-hour winds, and the quick dry in the Oahe Zap got it ready to be played. There was standing water at third base, and this team, just a resilient grounds crew. As Polizzi sends that one back up the middle. This one might be 2. Polizzi chugging it out, but not in time. A good play there. The shortstop Aguirre turning, firing to Henry Heyman, and then completing the play over at first to Fucino.
Man, we've seen some great glove work out of Sevi Aguirre in this ball game, including that one. Another sharp hit up the middle by Vince Polizzi. Thought we were going to see another Vince Polizzi base hit right through the middle of the infield, but Aguirre had other plans.
That one certainly stole a run. Fast runner in Pugrad was chugging for third as Farwell will now have to get a big hit with 2 outs. He's quickly behind 0-1. Zap up 6-3, a big bottom of the sixth, giving them that lead back. So they trailed for a lot of yesterday's ball game, but resiliency of this team has been unreal as Farwell sends a drive out into right field. That one going, and gone! His fourth of the year for Ty Farwell. What a shot.
And a no-doubter, Caden Brzezinski throwing the hat down, knowing that there was nothing he could do about that one. And again, you look up at the scoreboard, Zap doing it with 2 outs as the collective boom comes across from the Zap dugout. What a swing from Ty Farwell.
I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, man, it's been a minute since Ty Farwell's left the ballpark. He's been so hot at the plate, but he hasn't had that long ball in a while. Well, he shut my internal dialogue up as he just hit a shot to right. We said he need a big hit with 2 outs, and that's the definition there, as that one is skied into the netting by Brant Phillips for ball 1.
As Bob Euchre would say, just a bit outside.
That one was just a bit of everything. That was probably a pitch you want to forget.
That one might have slipped just a little bit.
As Zap now take a 5-run lead. A lot of insurance as Hammonds fouls that one off for strike 1. And we'll see if Hutter comes back out or not. Bryce Van de Wastein's warming up the bullpen, so they might be just saving Josh Porter to make a start out in Spearfish, which honestly would be probably a pretty good move from this coaching staff with a 5-run lead. 1-1, runs inside and catches Hammonds on the leg. Will take his base, and this inning just refusing to end for Phillips.
Thought we might have an anomaly here today with a 9-inning game without seeing a Zap hitter get hit.
We made it a while.
What was I thinking?
It's not a Zap baseball game at Hyde Stadium if they don't get drilled with a pitch, Justin.
Ain't that the truth?
Like death, taxes, a Zap hitter getting hit. I mean, it happens every night. If we had a very reliable stat tracking system, I'd figure out how many games in a row, but I think it would just probably be about all of them this year.
Just look at the schedule.
Yeah, they've played, 42 games now, 43, something like that. It's probably 43 games in a row. As Mason Lang runs in, that one gets past the hitter, but they're going to say that one hits Mason Lang, so he'll take his base on back-to-back hit batsman for the Zap. And
now they're just making up for what we lost in the first couple of
Making up for lost time, trying to keep those averages up. A few games ago, they were averaging 2.5 hits per game. No, not just regular hits. No, hit batsmen for the Oahe Zap. As a tumultuous first inning here for Brant Phillips.
Yeah, after that double play, he's just kind of, letting things loosen up a little bit. And the home plate umpire, Austin Ritchie, kind of walked out, patted him on the back, saying, I know that these are not intentional, but got to tighten it up just a little bit if you can. And now the pitching staff going to come out and talk to Brant Phillips a little bit, try to get him eased back in. As Fremont Moo, again, another game where they felt like they might be able to crack through and stay in front, but the Zap offense just proving to be a little bit too much. Still 6 outs to work with for the Moo offense, but that 2-run home run by Ty Farwell makes this one feel a bit insurmountable for the Fremont Moo.
Daly at the plate, swings at the first pitch he sees, skies that one out to right. Brzezinski settles under it, makes the play for the 3rd out. But not after a Ty Farwell 2-run shot brings the lead out to 5 for the Oahe Zap. They lead 8-3 heading to the 8th inning.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media peek can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com, just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
As we make it across the 8 o'clock hour, we make it into the 8th inning. Hello, everybody. Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis on a perfect Friday night in Pierre. The Zap scoring 2 more runs in the bottom of the 7th, extend their lead out to 5. They lead 8-3, and a new pitcher on the bump in Bryce Vandewastein. It was a quick piece of work for Jake Hutter, but a good introduction to his newest teammates as he is able to get out of his first and only inning of work tonight unscathed. He allowed a leadoff walk, an errant pickoff attempt, got that runner to second, but that's where he stayed as Hutter dealt beautifully. It'll be the 3-4-5 for the Fremont Moo. As Timon Long, who left the ballpark earlier, now rifles one down the left field line. It was actually Henry Heyman at the plate, excuse me.
You had it right the first time.
I knew I had it.
And a lot of the times you'll see that trick where people tap the opposite shoulder and then they'll run around the other side. Well, Estevan Baka did that to Shock, but he grabbed his tail and then ran around him.
That's not very nice. Here's the 0-1 from Vandewastein. Make it 0-2 as he curves an off-speed pitch in there. And I think the Zap would love to use Vandewastein for this 8th and the 9th inning. Or maybe put a new arm in there just to keep everybody loose. We'll see what they do. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. An unbelievably devastating off-speed pitch there from Bryce Vandewastein, and the throw over to Jared Pugrad had him blocking the sunlight. He didn't want to get pelted by that ball. We've seen a couple tosses around the infield after strikeouts go awry for the Oahe Zap. That one was all caused by the sunlight.
And if you can get Bryce Vandewastein out of this inning with a low enough pitch count to where he could go again in that Spearfish series, I think you would take that, and then maybe you introduce the crowd to the other newest pitcher to get him eligible for the playoffs.
Well, it's a good start for Vandewastein. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 1 out as Cooper Fuccino makes his way into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch to Fuccino is in there for strike 1. So Vandewastein used his couple days of rest to his advantage. He's looking fresher than ever. There's the 0-1 to Fuccino. Quickly 0-2. Another good off-speed pitch from Bryce Vandewastein.
It was shaky the last time we saw him. Only got through 2 batters, but it's a much better sight than the last time.
We'll see if he can copy that first at bat. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ripped and off the end of the glove of Ty Farwell at third. That was a blistering bullet off the bat of Cooper Fuccino. Ty Farwell did well just to knock it down.
And that one probably saves extra bases off the glove of Farwell. I'm sure he would have loved to have brought that one in, but Nick Golden was going to have to be chugging for that one, and that one was looking like it was going to be 2 all the way.
Nick Golden has checked in out at left field. Jared Pugrad at shortstop. And
It looks like Jake Daly out in right field, as the first pitch is skied a mile high on the infield. Connor Hammond's going to call everybody off. He trots in from first and makes the play for the second out of the inning. So Timon Long pops out on his first pitch he sees, and it'll be up to Josh Hardiman here in the top of the 8th inning with 2 outs to try to pick away at this 5-run deficit that the Zap have created in the last 2 innings. The Zap scored 2 runs in the first, then another one in the third to take a 3-0 lead, but the Fremont Moo answered with 2 runs in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, before the Zap regained control of this game as Hardiman fans on a first pitch fastball from Van de Wastein. Zap scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, 2 more runs in the bottom of the 7th. Ty Farwell with a 2-run home run with 2 outs. And I've gotten the Zap out in front 8-3. Van de Wastein has done nothing but pepper the zone with strikes. He does so again, 0-2. He has yet to pitch a ball here in this frame. A 3-pitch strikeout to start off the inning to Henry Heyman. An 0-2 count turned into a lined base hit, as this one's fouled off the shoelaces of Hardiman to make it 0-2. Van de Wastein's 0-2 pitch to Cooper Fucino was ripped to Farwell. He knocked it down. Fucino reached, but then Timon Long popped out on his first pitch, and, well, Hardiman's behind 0-2. And I believe off in the distance I can hear a faint horn of our trained friend. Here's the 0-2, and that one's fouled off the foot of Hardiman.
I was worried my ears were deceiving me, Justin.
I believe he's making his way by Dunes Golf as we speak, crossing the bridge. Maybe he's coming that way. Maybe he's coming from down near Cattleman's Steakhouse, but he's coming nonetheless.
I can't wait.
I would love to have him here in the midst of an inning, but the way that Bryce Van de Wastein's working, we might have to wait till the bottom of the 8th. Maybe he can tap the brakes on the train. Another 0-2 is ripped to Farwell at third. Backhanded stab. What a play. Can he make the throw in time? He sure can. What a stretch by Hammonds. What a play by Farwell to get the 3rd out of the inning. Ty Farwell doing it with his bat in the bottom of the 7th, now doing it with his glove in the top of the 8th. We head to the bottom half. Zap leading 8-3 here at Hyde Stadium.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Ty Farwell saves a couple extra base hits there in the top of the 8th inning, as that last backhanded play, maybe one of the best glove plays we've seen Ty Farwell make all season long, whether that be at third or behind the dish. That was not an easy play to make, not an easy throw to make.
That's a long list of plays, too.
Yeah, he got to the backhand as that ball bounced over the third base bag sharply. I have seen Ty Farwell play a lot of baseball, but I was unsure if he was going to be able to make that play, but he proved me wrong. As Cooper Lucas is the new relief pitcher here in the bottom of the 8th, as he's going to try to keep this game at bay for his team, the Fremont Moo, who trail 8-3. Zap offense has continued to dominate. Wouldn't hurt the cause to get a couple more insurance runs. We'll see who comes out for the top of the 9th inning for the Zap, as Bryce Van de Wastein went that entire inning without giving up a ball, without pitching a ball. That's pretty impressive, as we count all balls hit as strikes. So Cooper Lucas continuing to get warm. Nick Golden, Jared Pugrad, Emiliano Curiel, all going to get to hit here in the the bottom of the 8th inning. Nick Golden will lead things off. There's been an energy in the ballpark here these last couple nights. Part of it has come with the huge crowds
Part of it has come just with the upbeat tempo this Zap team has been playing with, and Nick Golden on cue almost wears the first pitch from Cooper Lucas. Nick Golden doesn't offer a lot of room on the inside part of the plate, as that one scurries behind him for ball 2. He kind of drapes himself over the bag as we take a quick look around the league at the other games taking place tonight. The Spearfish Sasquatch leading the Casper Spuds 3-0. As the 2-0 pitch to Nick Golden is inside for ball 3. And the Hastings Sodbusters getting a little bit of revenge on the Bison Baseball Club, leading 12-3. Those are the only 2 games going on tonight outside of Hyde Stadium. 3-0 count to Nick Golden. 4-0 count to Nick Golden. He'll toss the bat and trot down as he draws the leadoff walk.
And it's still early on that Spearfish game, but that's just the result you want. You want those teams to keep taking games from each other in this playoff push when you get a chance to go out to Spearfish and play them yourselves.
Because if Spearfish wins the second half of the season, well, it comes down to win percentage for the second place team. And as long as Casper can keep losing and the Zap keep winning, then the Zap would slot in. So things just continuing to fall into place. More pieces getting put into the puzzle for the Oahe Zap as Curiel lines one up the middle for a no-out base hit. Nick Golden will come into second base standing. And that'll bring up Jared Pugrad. Pugrad led off the last inning with a nice base hit as he charged one out to center field. Thought Tanner Jacobson might make another great steal of a base hit off of Jared Pugrad, but it was not to be. Pugrad sure hits the ball hard, and Cooper Lucas gives up a hard hit ball to Emiliano Curiel, which will give way to the newest Zap shortstop, Jared Pugrad, who checked in for Gavin Frazier earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, if the Zap can bring another run across and hold on, they would have a positive run differential for the first time since probably opening day.
Pugrad awaits the first pitch from Cooper Lucas. A couple turns of the head back at Nick Golden at second. Now delivers, and Pugrad will take a first pitch strike on the inner half of the zone. Another great night here in Pierre. Sun setting back behind us. A warm 83 degrees as the 0-1 is down low in the dirt for ball 1. And flag out in right center field, arresting softly as that breeze comes and goes. 1-1 count with nobody out and 2 runners on for Jared Pugrad in an 8-3 Zap lead. Golden dancing at second. Lucas fixed on Pugrad as he fouls that one back into the net to make the count 1-2. And with Bryce Van de Wastein pitching, there's nobody to run and chase down those foul balls for the Zap. So Pugrad behind 1-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. Looking for another hard hit ball to find a gap. That one off the plate for ball 2. Timon Long is playing very shallow out in left field. And Pugrad can really hit the ball hard. Maybe if he could find one to get into that left field corner or even over the head of Timon Long. I have to imagine that Curiel would be able to score from first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off the plate, ball 3. And I think Jared Pugrad would be just fine with drawing a full count walk to load the bases for Caden Bazanski.
Yeah, this is a great at-bat for a guy who typically jumps on an early pitch in the count.
That's something that Pugrad is known for. The 3-2 pitch is lined over the third baseman's head, and that's going to get down fair. We talked about that left field corner, and Pugrad heard us. 1 run will score. They'll hold up Curiel at third, but Nick Golden comes in to score on the double for Jared Pugrad. Another great piece of hitting for the Zap shortstop, and they lead 9-3 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Just another great piece of hitting from Jared Pugrad. He has been stellar this season in the second half for the Oahe Zap.
12 hits, 9 runs for the Zap here today, and Caden Bazanski is going to have a chance to join in on the fun with that double Pugrad stands at second, Curiel stands at third, and still nobody out.
Yeah, Bazansky was itching for a chance to swing it last night, but got left off just right before. See if he can do it here.
First pitch to Caden Bazansky runs way high. A nice play by Nate Wachter to keep that from getting to the backstop and allowing Curiel to score.
Yes, that was now back in game one when Bazansky was coming back from suspension because he did start last night. So he's had a couple of chances, but this is a big spot here for Bazansky.
1-0 count. Make it 2-0 as that misses high. And if you're Cooper Lucas, the last thing you want to do is walk Caden Bazansky and bring Vince Polizzi to the plate with a chance to end the ball game with a swing. Zap lead 9-3. If they get it to 13 here, it'll end the game, as Bazansky will take a pretty generous call on the inside corner there for strike one. And you got mixed up there on the game for Bazansky. They're all starting to run together now at this point, buddy.
There's been about 45 at this point. They're all just blurred together in one big continuous game.
Just one big pot of mashed baseball. 2-1 turns 3-1 as that one misses high and away.
So I feel pretty good about pulling random tidbits from certain games, and then sometimes, man, it's just a jumble.
Well, we haven't been checked by our fans on the YouTube chat yet. We haven't had anybody say, no, that wasn't last night, that was 2 nights ago. So I think they're kind of in the same boat. Here's the 3-1 to Bazansky. That one catches the outside corner for strike two, and the count runs full.
It's just a lot of baseball this summer, man.
But it's been fun. It really has been. We've enjoyed not only calling this great team, but getting to know some of the parents. The parents have really come through with some delicious treats. As the payoff pitch to Bazansky is down and in for ball 4, they'll check with Dozark out in the field. He did not go, and the bases are juiced for Vince Polizzi. So Polizzi has a chance to hit a walk-off grand slam. He's hit 2 grand slams here at Hyde Stadium this season. Yes, a walk-off grand slam and a 9-3 Zap lead.
Yeah, and I told him earlier he owes this crowd a home run if he's going to go report to his college for a few days and then come back for the playoffs. So.
And he started stretching right after you said that to him. So maybe the message was received. We'll see what he can do here with nobody out and the bases loaded. First pitch to Polizzi off the plate for ball 1. And for Cooper Lucas, it doesn't get much easier after Polizzi. Ty Farwell standing in the on-deck circle. Farwell left the yard his last time up.
If Polizzi doesn't walk it off, someone else very easily could.
1-0, swung foul, and that catches a piece of Austin Ritchie as it goes by. So Ritchie going to buy himself a little bit of time and dust off a pretty clean plate after that one caught his inner thigh area. Count will be evened up at 1 apiece. The good news for Austin Ritchie is at this point in the night, the sun is set up where there's a little bit of shade back behind home plate for him. Polizzi awaits the 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Nowhere to put Polizzi.
Got a hitter's count now. Got to think he'll be aggressive here. Doesn't want to go down with a walk in his last at-bat for a week.
Polizzi waggling the bat back behind his right shoulder, and he takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 2. So the count's evened at 2 apiece. Maybe Polizzi just setting himself up for the perfect pitch. Lucas comes set with the 2-2. Way up and in, and the count runs full. So the Zap trying to end it here in the bottom of the 8th via run rule. No looking ahead to the weekend in this ball game. Things tightened up a little bit, but then the Zap offense came back to bite. The payoff pitch, swung on and missed. A good 3-2 pitch there from Cooper Lucas gets Vince Polizzi down swinging. And that'll be a sour taste left in the mouth of Vince Polizzi as he reports to college before hopefully coming back for the postseason. But Ty Farwell will come up to the plate. Bases still loaded, only 1 out.
And we hope to see him back for the playoffs. And if I have to drive down to Loris to get him myself, I might have to, Justin.
I'll pay for your gas. And that one is worn by Farwell on the first pitch. And that's a very painful RBI for Ty Farwell. As Emiliano Curiel will score, Farwell gets a handshake from Coach Wiggins down at first base. And it's 10-3 Zap in the bottom of the 8th. And Quinn Ludvigsen coming up, another guy who was a home run candidate.
And he left the ballpark ending his home run drought. And game 1 of this series was just a moonshot out to center. See if he can send everybody home with even an extra base hit here.
You got a fast bunch on the base paths. Pugrad standing at third, Golden at second, Bazansky at second, and Farwell at first. Ludvigsen in the left-handed batter's box, waiting patiently as Cooper Lucas comes set. First pitch to Q, high for ball 1.
Good call, Jay.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, now I got it. Ludvigsen awaits, ahead in the count, 1-0. Big swing and a foul. Almost earns a collective ooh from the crowd as a Chrysler minivan was speeding by with his window down, and he almost had a foul ball fall right into his lap.
Thought that one was going to go in through the sunroof. Oh my goodness, that was almost dangerous.
Almost timed up perfectly. 1-1 to Ludvigsen. That one finds its way into the zone to make it 1-2.
Yeah, we waited a long time for you to catch a foul ball, Justin, but we might be waiting an even longer time for a car driving by to get hit. That was almost scary.
That was, and half the crowd saw that coming from a mile away. Here's the 1-2 to Ludvigsen, high and away for ball 2. Ludvigsen staying patient. Ludvigsen's got a lot of room to work with in that left center gap. Tanner Jacobson shading over towards right field out in center. 2-2 to Ludvigsen is lifted towards the second base side, and that's going to be caught by Henry Heyman. Thought that one might get down for a moment, but it'll be the second out of the inning. And Mason Lang will be the last hope for the Zap to try to get to that 10-run limit and save a couple extra pitches for your bullpen.
And if anyone thinks Pierre doesn't care about Oahe Zap baseball, you should have heard the collective "aw" when that one didn't reach real estate from Quinn Ludvigsen.
These fans have showed just how much they care these last couple nights, and if the Zap can go on the road and win, I can't wait to see what that Hastings series will look like next weekend. Lang will take a first pitch ball high and away. Forget that next series. Imagine what a home playoff series would look
Goodness,
like.
it'd be glorious, Justin.
Lang ahead 1-0. A swing and a line out to right field. Giving chase is Brzezinski along that right field line. He'll make the catch. I think he thought there was one out because he fires that ball in with some urgency. But it is the third out. We head to the top of the 9th inning. Zap leading 10-3 as the kids run the bases on a perfect night in Pierre.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
As Bryce Van de Wastein back on the bump as Justin gets the go-ahead. He's invited to the meal.
I had to ask the boss man about that one. Didn't want to show up uninvited.
As Bryce Van de Wastein firing in some warm-up pitches on a just great night here in Pierre as the Zap look to win their 4th straight, move 2 games above 500 and pull away even further in this playoff race as they have just been firing on all cylinders here as of late.
You know, and I kind of talked about this earlier in the game, but I want to revisit it. You've got such a massive series coming up tomorrow and on Sunday against the Spearfish Sasquatch that really will paint a picture of what the postseason could look like. And it would have been very easy for the Zap to kind of overlook this game today. But they got scoring early. They got themselves in a good position, fell behind when the Moo tied it up. And how about them getting off the map? Coming back, not only scoring in the 6th, but scoring in the 7th, scoring in the 8th. And hopefully they won't get to the 9th, but a great response.
Bryce Van de Wastein back out for the 9th. Comes set, fires his first ball of his outing. It's pretty crazy to think he threw an entire inning without throwing a ball.
Yeah, that was a special piece of work there from Bryce Van de Wastein.
As long as Van de Wastein doesn't allow more than 2 runs here, the Zap will have a positive run differential after tonight, too, as that one's fouled off. Strike 1.
Which isn't the case for a lot of teams in the ILB.
Zap have been facing an uphill battle of that first half, trying to erase that run differential. And if you have that positive run differential, that's usually a pretty good sign of things going well for you, especially after climbing out of that hole you put yourselves in the first half. But it has just been a tale of 2 halves for the Oahe Zap, being one of the best teams in the ILB in the second half. As that one swung on a miss in the dirt for strike 2 as a little man in the crowd starting the wave. He's trying his best.
It hasn't worked yet, and if you get a young fan like that and it still doesn't work, I don't know anybody that could get it to work.
The wave better be happening during the playoffs. If any fans at home are listening, I call upon you to get it started. So that one swung on a miss for another K for Bryce Van de Wastein. Zap 2 outs away from recording their 4th in a row.
Yeah, we've seen some really good outings from Bryce Van de Wastein this season. I'm be pressed to say this is likely his best. You see an 8th inning frame where he doesn't throw a ball, and he gets out of that with a couple strikeouts and a couple of plays by his defense, and then starting off with a strikeout here in the 9th.
2nd K of the day for Van de Wastein as that one skied out to right field. Talk about efficiency. Settling under it, making the play is Hudson Ivy out and right.
Didn't think we'd see Hudson Ivy out in right field tonight.
Hey, he said he was a 2-way player at his JUCO, is trying to transition back to that. And he takes batting practice. I don't think he's had an at-bat yet this season, but Hudson Ivy reminding you that position players are athletes too. As now the Zap 1 away from a series sweep. Van de Wastein settles, fires. That one chopped towards Farwell. Charging, firing across the mound. Ludvigsen can't pick it out of the dirt as the runner will chug for second. Hudson Ivy coming in to field that one and keep the runner put at second.
I think that was Ty Farwell trying to put an exclamation point on this win. That one was a heat-seeking missile.
That was going to be a hard play to make. He was kind of making that judgment call on if to wait on it or charge it. He eventually charged, and then a powerful throw just released a little too late, brought it into the dirt. Ludvigsen has a very surefire glove over there at first, but that was always going to be a difficult play to make.
He might not have had a glove had he had caught that ball.
I'd had a couple of broken fingers. It's Caden Brzezinski now the last hope for the Moo as he lines that one out to right. That one going back. Hudson Ivy ranging and making the play. Bring out the brooms. The Zap sweep the Moo and win their 4th straight game here at Hyde Stadium. 10-3. We'll recap it in our post-game show here on River 92.7.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre's Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
The Zap sweep the Fremont Moo for their first series sweep of a non-travel ball team this year. And this Zap team is really firing on all cylinders, and they have turned Hyde Stadium into one of the hardest places to play in the ILB, recording their 20th win at home this year. And it is just another win in a long stretch of just great baseball for the Oahe Zap, Justin.
And this team is on an upwards trajectory right now. They continue to play better and better and better week in, week out. And they're providing for the fans that are supporting them throughout the season that continue to show up. And as we go through the scoring, 2 runs in the first, 1 run in the third. You get out in front early. You feel like you've got this thing under control. And the Fremont Moo have a big answer for you. They score 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th to tie this thing up. And we have talked about it so many times this year. We almost harp on it. This is a game that the Zap had trouble winning earlier on in the season. They would get out in front, and then they would allow a big inning from an offense. But that's one thing we haven't been seeing lately is those 6, 7, 8-run innings that really put you behind the 8 ball, really dig into a hole. Pitching has been really good about getting themselves out of those jams, and the offense has responded in tote by scoring and scoring big later in the innings.
Yeah, it's a 13-hit day, a 10-run day for the Oahe Zap. Just offense on full display. And Justin, we haven't done this in a while, and typically it's me handing them out. Who's the player of the game tonight?
That's tough. You know, I think there's a lot of guys that could get it. We saw Bryce Van de Wastein come in, but he had a lot of run support. You want to give it to Vince Palizzi because he had a couple hard hit balls. Jared Pugrad had a big base hit. But it was great to see Ty Farwell leave the yard. Those insurance runs really made it feel like this was out of reach for the Fremont Moo. It was still a tight game at that point, but Ty Farwell with 2 outs hitting that 2-run home run, I think really kind of eased the tensions for the Zap a little bit. Let's give it to our hip-shaking buddy, Ty Farwell.
I couldn't agree more. Ty Farwell gets his 4th home run of the year, tying himself at 2nd on the home run leaderboard. Signing off one last time here tonight, thanking our sponsors, Venture Communications for providing our first inning fiber effect, thanking Dunes Golf for providing the path to the playoffs with Eli Lewis, Country Club quality at public course price. Go have yourself a day at the Dunes. Thanking Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce and the Pierre Regional Airport. One last time for our producer, director, intern extraordinaire, Eli Lewis. My partner in crime, as always, Justin Cowart. I'm Dylan Beach, thanking you for tuning in to another Oahe Zap broadcast. The Zap beat the Moo 10-3. Signing off one last time. Good night, folks.
This broadcast of Oahe Zap Baseball was brought to you by DRG Media Group and its sponsors. The next home Zap game will be broadcast right here on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com. Thanks for tuning in.